Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Fresh Fit Podcast. The Avengers assemble. I got the whole squad in here.
Yeah,
and I'm wearing a suit.
2 black, 4 white.
Yeah, there we go. Let's do it. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Fresh Fit Podcast. We're here with the whole goddamn squad, the Avengers Assemble. Now, before you guys ask, I know you're going to say, Bart, what the hell? You're wearing a suit. Yes, I am, because these guys decided to show up looking all good. And I was like, I'm not going to get shown up on our own podcast. I got to put on my suit.
You still do.
Maybe a little bit. But still, either way, I was like, man, I got to dust. I got to take the dust off this thing. I haven't worn it since I testified with the Uncle Sam. So
no one told me the memo. You live here, bro.
Dude, I didn't know. They just showed up.
Bro, I came from an art show, getting lit with celebrities, and y'all in suits, man. It's not fair.
Hey, man, bro, they just showed up wearing suits, and I was like, all right, this is bullshit.
This
well,
is just how we dress at night. We got to sleep like this.
Yeah. See, Andrew knew this all along. That was a secret plan.
I just have this kind of intuition for life, and I just thought, bust out the Armani too.
What's it tough?
Yeah, man. So, quick announcement, guys, before we get into the show. And there's already 968 of you guys in here. Please
like the video.
We're quickly climbing up to over 1,000. Okay, guys, patreon.com/freshfit. Actually, just recorded a few videos yesterday answering questions on there. We got a $5 tier, $10 tier, and a $20 tier. Cheap as hell. Get all the great content on there. We teach you guys how to make money, get girls, and how to get in shape, man. Womanize, finances, and game. It's all there.
We uploaded the last Frank Castle done by Miss Myron.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kicking out that annoying ass girl.
Myron of Pants.
Yeah. If y'all want to see me kicking out annoying girls, also get on there because we have the behind the scenes stuff of like when we actually kicked them out because we don't got cameras out there in front yet. So check us out over there on patreon.com/freshfit. Also, guys, we're on Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts, every single platform you guys listen to. We are there. Just make sure you wear headphones so you don't get fired for your job, especially this episode. We're about to say a lot of things that are crazy. And then
got you.
and then Chris uploads at least 5 times a week, Monday through Friday.
Pretty much.
So he uploads it right there on Anchor, guys. So check us out over there. Also, freshfitpodcaststore.com. Get the merch there, which I'm not wearing for once. But yeah, I feel like shirts, they're all there. Fresh Fit Podcast Punisher, for example. Get the merch.
Winter's coming, guys. Get the hoodies.
Yes, and the hoodies are there as well. And also, guys, Fresh has a vlog channel.
Guys, for behind the scenes, man, of us doing living our lifestyle, having fun. Check it out. 100K away. Let's go.
And then also, guys, we got another YouTube channel. If you don't got 2 to 3 hours to watch a full podcast of me arguing with girls and losing my hair follicles, go ahead and check us out on the Fresh Fit clips so you can see me lose my hair follicles in a short period of time. And then also, guys, we're on Twitch, Fresh Fit Podcast on there. Better quality, so check us out over there. Keep 2 tabs open, one on YouTube and then one on Twitch. And then, Chris, you want to tell them about your Twitch?
Follow me on Twitch at Aaron Poxon. I'll do streams, pre-show, post-show, and I will do a stream tomorrow. Let's get it.
Yeah, and no one knows this guy's first name, guys. I know someone says Aaron, is it Chris or whatever? His real government name is Aaron, but he went by Chris his entire life until his mom finally told him, hey, your name is actually Aaron, by the way. I am not kidding around. That's serious.
Yo, I thought it was Opalaka.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I got you fresh.
Thank you. And then ladies that want to come on the show, we don't have any ladies on the panel tonight, thank God.
Thank God.
Yeah, this is going to be a high IQ conversation only. Go ahead, hit up Chris on Instagram at Aaron C. Poxon and follow us on Instagram, Fresh Fit Podcast. Also follow me on Plug Fit, Freshman CEO. And then all our buddies here are also linked below as well, all their social media handles and YouTubes. But let's introduce the guys on the panel, man.
So guys, give us your name, your body count, where you came from, your mother's maiden name. No, just kidding. So we'll start here, man. Who are you and welcome to Fresh and Fit.
JWaller. Body count unknown. I have no idea. Less than Stirling, maybe. So, and then YouTube JWaller, and then JWaller7 on Instagram.
Fire.
So,
welcome, brother.
Well, no one could be Sterling because Sterling also has guys in his one as well. His body count.
Oh!
He does have guys.
We don't discriminate around here.
And
just kidding, guys. That's a joke.
And by the way, guys, happy birthday to Justin.
Hey!
Justin, man.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, man. How old are you, Justin?
36.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, OG,
Right, there it is.
Get some Henny. Get the Henny out.
Like Guile from Street Fighter? Like Guile?
Yeah, a little bit like that.
Well, I mean, I was gonna. No, I wouldn't say Guile.
I would say
Who would he be? Ken?
I'd say Ken.
Ken?
Ken with short hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ken with
Yeah.
short hair. There we go.
There you go.
I'm Dalsum. I've already decided.
Yoga Fire.
I can do yoga fire. I can.
All right, Andrew Tate.
Yeah, Andrew Tate, 4-time kickboxing world champion, extremely humble, multimillionaire. That's about it, isn't it? What else is there to say? I think you guys have seen me on the show before, so I look
Flexing on the broke boys.
Flexing on the broke boys. I look forward to having a very intellectual conversation with these gentlemen without some chick screaming. So let's see how it goes.
And just so you know, Andrew's about to be mainstream because he did an interview with academics. It's about to be viral.
Yep.
So shout out to Andrew Tate, man.
Shout out to you. That was a great interview.
I'm doing my best.
That's great.
I'm doing my best.
Let's get it.
Rollo Tomasi, author of The Rational Male, that's mentioned on this show a million times. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I'm glad we're finally on a show with we can raise the bar a little bit for.
The champ is here. And guys, just so you know, this is a bomb drop right here. Rollo's actually my secret dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I adopted him.
Yep.
Oh shit! All right, I didn't know that. How the hell are you so black then?
Look, I'm white on the inside, black on the outside. Vice
Oreo.
versa.
Oreos.
Yeah,
Oreos.
because people aren't sure right now if you're wearing a turtleneck or if you're actually just shirtless at the moment, so they don't know.
Screw y'all niggas, man. Screw y'all, man. Yo, look at the thumbnail. Look at the thumbnail. I'm not even on the thumbnail. Y'all niggas, bro.
Yo, that's a nice one, man.
That thumbnail's about where's Walter.
Where's Waldo?
And then my favorite Australian,
Down under.
I'm not the only Australian, you know.
my favorite, bro.
Yeah.
Just
By-
kidding. I hate this
By
guy.
default. Sterling Cooper, former high-class male companion, award-winning adult film star, and now I help dudes overcome bedroom performance issues and lay pipe better on my YouTube channel. So there you go.
Bang. There you go.
Creating
Former porn
plumbers
star.
worldwide.
Exactly. Laying the pipe everywhere, man. So, okay. So,
Super chats.
I'll read the super chats real quick and then we'll get into it. Chris.
1 second.
Okay.
He's loading,
Pulling up the
loading.
super chats right now, guys. It's loading.
Let's get it.
We haven't paid our internet
Whoa.
bill, so all right. So we got thank you guys so much for the donation. $10. Ricky Webster. One love to all the panel and also to everyone in the chat. French Toast Pops do. Thank you,
Ricky,
Ricky.
thank you.
Ricky, for coming back. A super big shout out to our favorite producer, Chris Proxon, for all that he does.
Hey,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Freddie Frappuccino. Shout out to Fresh Fit. This show is going to be lit. When are we going to be getting Dr. BOA? The culture needs it. He's going to come in December, guys. Don't worry. I was actually talking with him 2 days ago. Shout out to Dr. BOA. He'll be here. And then we got Geeky Anomaly. Rollo is Iron Man. Sterling is Thor. Myron is Captain America. Tate is the Hulk. Waller is Doctor Strange. And Fresh is the Black Panther. Wakanda forever. The Three Kings, $5. Shout out to the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen on the panel. Absolutely. It looks like we're like Ocean's 11 or some shit.
By the way,
Black Lima with the big $5.
Yo, Chris,
Shout-
put on the screen, bro. Put on the screen, man.
The Fantastic Four right there. So thank you so much for that, Black Lemur. We rock with you, bro. You're always supporting us, man, through thick and thin. We love you. You need to come down to Miami. Who's up next?
hold on, put out right quick.
All right.
You gotta show him some love, man.
Yeah, and we got 2,700 guys. While Chris pulls this up, guys, please
Like the
like
video.
the video, man. Me and Fresh are not going to do a lot of the talking, guys. We're going to leave it to the esteemed panel, man, because I want y'all to really get to know these guys. Subscribe to their YouTube channels. Fuck with them because we fuck with them heavy. These are our, besides just YouTube collaborations, these guys are like actually like friends, guys. Like we see them around and shoot the shit. Justin's been here many times. Me and him trade jokes back and forth. We both hate each other, but he's here somehow. Yes. And all right, what else do we got here, Chris?
Yep, 1 second.
And then we got Son Goku, 007 Myron in the building, $5. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I haven't worn this shit since I testified, guys, when I worked for the government, for real talk. Peanut Patootie, loving the Sunday suit, Myron. Everyone is looking dapper. Tonight is going to be a brilliant show. Shout out to the UK crew, GB. Shout out to Great Britain, and Peanut's a great supporter.
Shout out to her, man.
And then Wayne, the women go crazy for a sharp dressed man. That's true, Wayne. That's very, very, very true. Thank you. Oh, I thought you had it, Chris.
Hey,
All right. Pipo Gaming, thoughts on the state of society and its potential collapse with men checking out from society? What do you think the aftermath will be? Much love. Excellent question. We will be talking about that.
Yeah.
We're 100% going to talk about that. Darian Saint, $2, GTA Vice City vibes, facts. And then $5, Isaac Perez. Myron, you look like you own hella Indian stores in your local area. That's your next cap. 2, a turban. Love y'all. The grind going. Guys, don't worry. I just ordered a bunch more caps from different countries. So you guys will see. We're going to be really international with this shit very soon. Regizzle, hey, Andrew, what's a good side hustle for someone who already makes 100K a year? We got you. Don't worry. We're going to talk about me on this episode too. King S. Oh, yeah. And also, guys, just so y'all know, Andrew, we're going to have our one-on-one show with Andrew Monday. Okay. That one's going to be fucking crazy. I already got like 2 to 3 hours set aside because we all talk about everything from depression to money to, the craziness that we got going on in the West versus being in Eastern Europe. We're going to talk about everything with Andrew, as y'all know. I know you guys have been waiting for a while.
The Matrix.
And the Matrix.
The Matrix. You have to escape the Matrix. That's right. We're living inside of it, my friends. I say, sorry to interrupt, but I say this shit. People think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
We actually live inside the Matrix in real time. Watch the Matrix again. It predicted the future. Morpheus is walking amongst the crowd saying all these peons, they depend on the system. They will defend the system. They've got their 5th booster shot. He predicted all of this.
Yep.
Watch the Matrix. You're predicting it right now. You're either a slave inside of the organism for the machines, or you're a free man like me walking the earth, Aikidooing the agents. That's what I do day by day. People are like, Andrew, what do you do with your day? Don't you get bored? I'm like, bored? I'm dodging bullets, bro. I'm staying. It's not easy. It's not easy.
There we go. King S not used to seeing Myron in something other than merch tee and blue shorts. Very true. Fresh, you brought winter to Florida. Sheesh. And that's $5. Thank you. Which one of y'all got the most girls? I'll call away. Don't be modest. But by the way, I will sit with you good men one day, speaking into existence. That's from Cranium
I think
Reviews.
we all have that covered.
Chris, $5. Thank you so much, Myron. Looks like he on ESPN. LOL. F for life. Fuck you, bro. Mike Sinatra. I'm convinced that Fresh Kryptonite is wearing a suit because getting him to wear one is like pulling teeth. He doesn't even own one. If you guys want to know the truth.
Just so you know, I lost 30 pounds. So any suits I have won't fit me anymore. So there you go. I got to buy some new ones.
Bowen 203, $5. Not only do you guys have the A team tonight, but you guys actually started 2 minutes early tonight instead of running late. Good job for stepping up. That's because we don't got no girls in the studio.
I know, facts, man.
Except they don't know we were planning for 7 o'clock.
Yo,
loud cap.
Jumping like Jordan. Myron, lose the tie and loosen up the top 2 buttons. You are too formal. LOL FNF 500K by tomorrow. No, bro. When in doubt, always overdressed. These guys came in ready to fight, so I'm ready to fight too. God damn it. Okay, life of Jake Smooth. This show about to be legendary. FNF. Okay, hell yeah. IQ finna be over 9,000. That's from Jonathan Castillo. Thank you. And then, guys, from this point forward, we're gonna read only
20 and up.
20 and up. Mitchy D. A whole table of absolute goats. Protect the show at all costs. Hashtag Don DeMarco. Thank you.
Yep.
Colby TV. Quick question for everyone on the panel. What advice would y'all give to a high school senior graduating this summer to get a head start in life? We got you. We're going to talk about that. It's Morning Star. My girl said I changed since I started watching the show. Told her it is what it is. Absolutely, bro. You know what it is.
Gangsta.
And you didn't need to tell her back like pretty much this.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
And then we got the Sinister Six. And then we got from JD Tracy and Colonel Sanders. This is F and Lit. Get your buckets ready for the drumsticks of truth. Got you. And then the last one, Jeffrey Epstein. JWaller's story was inspirational. Shout out to all of you. See, guys, he's not dead. He's alive. He ain't kill himself.
So if anyone on this panel is going to know Epstein, it's Waller.
And guys, like the video. And I guess, so what we can start is how you guys all been doing, man? What's new with all you guys? We can start with Stirling.
Just even made as a point.
Oh, go ahead.
Guys, this is history in the making right here. We got fucking Sterling Cooper, Rollo Tomasi, Andrew Tate, Justin Waller, Myron Gaines, and Black Panther. I mean, this is amazing, guys. So just tell us what's new with you guys, and let's start there.
Sorry, Sterling.
Oh, well, I just got off promoting my brand new course that launched a couple of weeks ago, or like a week and a half ago by now. Now my boys are back in town, hanging out with the Tates and Andrew and Tristan, and living with this ugly motherfucker over here. It's good living here in Miami, enjoying myself.
Yeah, you haven't been doing as much spicy movies, right?
Not lately.
Not lately. Fair enough.
They still don't like me anymore.
Because you tell the truth.
The more outspoken I become, I start noticing like people who were friends, let's say acquaintances of mine, slowly just
back away,
dropping off and sending you know when you get people from you get this. I know you get this like people from high school who are a bit like jealous of you and
salty
like that, salty, and you start seeing comments, you start seeing things in your DMs.
You've changed.
Hope
so,
kind of
bitch.
stuff. It's like I'm not lying anymore. I'm telling the goddamn truth. Because like you work. People don't really understand when I say this. You work in the adult entertainment industry. It is super like SJW. Very. You can't speak out of line in California and LA. Like canceled immediately.
Wow.
And I know a lot of friends who've been pretty outspoken because of all the Jungle Juice stuff, the jab stuff this year. And they've lost.
The Jungle Juice.
They've lost their directing gigs. So it's there's a bit of turmoil going on.
I believe it, man. I believe it.
All right.
What about you, Rollo?
Oh,
Book
geez.
5.
What do I have coming out? Yeah, I've got book 5's coming out. Probably I think in the beginning of the year. I'm writing I'm compiling a book because it's really kind of stuff that I've covered over the years that I've been doing this. Coming up in 2022, I'll have been doing what I do for about 20 years. So I figured I would finish off. This is going to be the last book in the series, by the way. It'll be the 5th book in the series. I never set out to do a series of books. People always ask me like, oh, when are you going to do a re-edit of the first book, which is coming this next year as well. But I never intended to do like a series of books, but the first book sort of snowballed into what it is, and the Bible of the Manosphere right now. So I started just sort of responding to what my readers and my followers wanted right after that. And so I did preventive medicine, positive masculinity. Religion is the latest one right now. And I'm just I think in doing so, and this might be a really good topic for later on, is I'm understanding that the red pill is not just about getting laid. It's not just about like relationship coaching, and it's not about PUA anymore. It's not about game anymore. It's a arena, multi-discipline understanding. I'm not unlike the Matrix, right? And so I've got the 5th one coming out. I've got a really big, long travel schedule. This is stop number 2. I was actually in Oklahoma for Pat Campbell's memorial service.
Rest in peace to him.
Back in, people who know my podcast know that Pat and I got that off the ground together, and he passed away from brain cancer. About when was it, in October. So so I was out there, then I come out here right after this trip. I'm going out to, and I'm officially announcing this right here on this show.
Okay.
I will be on Elijah Schaefer's show.
Hey,
Oh, cool.
hey,
So
man.
there you go.
meet up with Elijah and speak my piece, I guess. He's on the Blaze. He's got 2 of his own shows as well. I know those are affiliate shows of the Blaze as well, so I'll be out there. After that, you guys know I'm working with Robert Kiyosaki right now.
Shout out to Robert.
Robert Kiyosaki's show that I was just on last week has dropped as of 2 days ago.
Yeah,
we were in the car when it dropped.
Yeah,
So that's out there and available now. I've actually shot 6 shows with Robert Kiyosaki, and this is the first one to actually kind of publish.
Wow.
I know you guys have worked with him, and so I'm kind of like trying to spread them out a little bit so you guys can you guys have your Money Mondays and everything else. So I figured I'd do that. I got him on with Charlie from Cultivate Crypto as well.
And Rollo's the one that introduced us to Kiyosaki. So
Yep.
thank you for that.
Yeah,
we wouldn't
of
have been able to meet him without you.
Rollo.
So thank you, Rollo.
And that's another really I think is a pretty good topic now as well. Is I think that the red pill is, for what we know as intersexual dynamics, the red pill is crossing over into other spheres right now. So it's getting into, well, it's always kind of been in the fitness sphere anyways, but it's also getting into the financial sphere right now. And it's good to see. I'm not saying it's going mainstream, but I'm glad to see it getting a little bit more exposure in different circles finally. So,
Yeah.
and even if, for better or worse, I mean, I hear like Steven Crowder and some of these other guys, Matt Walsh and, talking about red pill topics all the time. But it's encouraging to see that at least they're paying attention.
Yeah.
So,
All right, Andrew.
Yeah, I think just quickly on what Rollo said, I think he made a really good point. And as it gets more and more difficult as a man, because the game gets more and more difficult daily, then you have to have all your other things in order. It's not just a matter of game. Maybe however many years ago you could just have game and that was enough. But now the chicks out here expect you to have you be in shape and have money and have connections and have status and have all these other things. So as that becomes true, the red pill's obviously going to expand into those circles and it's all going to fit in together. As for myself, I'm here in Miami for a War Room event. So the War Room's still doing its best to conquer the world and resist the global enslavement of humankind. And besides that, I just walk the earth, getting adventures. Have you ever seen that movie Kung Fu? You ever seen that TV series Kung Fu? And the guy just walks around and then something happens. Someone gets their ass kicked and he walks around again. That's basically my life day to day. So I'm trying to be peaceful here in Miami because, they're strapped. But yeah, that's it. Not much, man. Just running the War Room and checking in with you guys.
Awesome.
All right.
It's always great to have you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Justin.
I am just construction, real estate, building buildings all over the country, doing the YouTube thing here, learning a lot from Sterling.
Can you tell them a little bit about yourself, man? You're a very successful guy. You're very humble, but can you tell the people, flex a little bit, man? Let them know what we know.
Who the hell is
Justin
So we
Waller,
build
man?
steel buildings.
That's right.
Yeah. So we build pre-engineered metal buildings, structural steel, like Rooms to Go, Costco's, Amazon's, things like that. Have a little over 100 employees, in about 12 states right now. We work all states in the Caribbean. So we'll do steel anywhere, man. We'll do it on the fucking moon. So
Wow.
my guys show up, they turn up, we get after it, and of course we buy real estate. I'm constantly looking. just bought a commercial building.
That's what's
so
up.
yeah, so definitely looking forward to growing more. I definitely like the market here.
Mhm.
So and actually I'm gonna go with Rollo. Me and Rollo are gonna go. I'm gonna meet Robert myself. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then outside that, I'm just jet setting around with this guy and that guy and turning up and raising a bunch of
where
hell.
were we
Yeah,
this year? We were running around in Ukraine. We
Yeah.
were running around in Romania.
Yeah.
We were running around, man, you name a country.
Yeah.
All over Eastern Europe, I was with these heathens,
Yeah.
running from spot to spot, getting in trouble.
Putting a dent in their ass.
Yeah, but I got you guys in Tahoe.
yeah.
Tell us about Ukraine, man. What was that like?
Ukraine, I mean,
Fish in a barrel.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
That was easy.
It was easy
So-
mode. It's a bit sketchy. Like you hear what's actually funny is when you talk about Eastern Europe, you hear all these stories about how Eastern Europe is like the promised land of girls and all this kind of thing. And it's half true and it's half completely false. I think a lot of the guys, especially on Twitter, who are semi in the dating space, etc., and they talk about Ukraine all the time, a lot of them are truthfully low-level dudes going to bang low-level girls. That's the absolute reality. The idea that you're going to go to Ukraine and get a 10 out of 10 beauty queen with $100 in your pocket is a lie. It's a lie because there's mob bosses, there's big money, there's big G's everywhere in the world, right? So you're not just going to rock up in one of these countries as a nobody and pull it off. Status is important everywhere. Game's important everywhere. And are there more girls who overall are more traditionally minded? Yeah, I'd say so. But also, if you're a bitch, you're a bitch as a dude,
Right.
Like, and that's the truth. And unless you're going to go to Colombia for $10 girls or Thailand, then you're going to need some game. Those are the only two places on the planet you're not going to need any game. Eastern Europe is the same deal, man. Like I live in Bucharest, Romania, and there's Lambos, there's Raris. You go to the club, there's bottles popping. It's all going off. You can't just turn up and be a dork. It's not like that.
Right.
So
I'll tell you what, the one thing I noticed, it was the big contrast I noticed when we're hanging out in the Ukraine between Ukrainian women and say women here, right? Was that a compliment, a genuine compliment, like calling a woman beautiful or giving her flowers, goes down incredibly well there. Like they are genuinely like blushing and genuinely flattered if you are, gentlemanly and courteous and call the Uber for her or pick her up in your car, get her flowers, pay for the meal. And you kind of want to do that to those. They're actually genuinely pleasant. I experienced that. I know you experienced that.
A lot of pleasantness.
A lot of femininity, a lot of pleasantness.
Yeah.
So like, it's in a weird way, parts of like the game are like flipped, like completely opposite to what you do here.
Yeah. Well, you know what I noticed is they talk about how loyal they are and all these other things, but Andrew's right. They're loyal to the guy they pick. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you still got to be that guy. It's just that they act right when they show you attention. Here, you can go on a date with a girl and she might be on a 60-year-old man's boat tomorrow.
Yep.
Facts.
And so, but the picking part or the choosing part is still, I would say, pretty close to the same.
yeah, the picking part's around the same. But if you get them, I think they're higher quality. Like I had people
Once you get them.
I had people visit me in Romania and we went to the club and we all picked up brand new girls. And in the morning when we woke up, they were all like cleaning the house and shit.
Damn.
And people were like, that would never happen in America. Like they're just tidied your whole house up. I'm like, yeah, because they're chicks and chicks just clean over here. That's just what they do, But getting them ain't easy. It's not any easier than the West. Really.
I was going to say, do you think that's a cultural thing or do you think that's like a socioeconomic thing? Like, is it like you've got a lot of money, so they're going to like invest more into you?
Yeah, their end goal, the end goal of a woman in Eastern Europe is to be a mother to a rich man.
Yeah.
That is what they want. The whole idea of career woman's
a wife
garbage.
to a rich man.
A wife to a rich man. Sorry, that's what they want. They want to be a wife to a rich man, and that's their end goal, and they'll act accordingly. So when you enter relationships with them, if you're that guy, if you're the guy they choose, they have a more wholesome end goal. It's very rare you'll see an Eastern European girl say, "I just wanted sex," or I don't know what crap do they say here. All the crap they say here. They don't say that. They'll date you genuinely with the intention of trying to marry you. And
I've been told getting a first night lay is extremely difficult in Ukraine.
It's just not easy.
Like,
Well, not if you want.
that's what people told me. I never been, so I don't know.
So if you do find one that wants you in that scenario, should you bring them back or should you leave them over there in Ukraine?
That's a good
You
question.
can leave them.
That's a really good question.
They still message me, all of them.
We've got wives everywhere.
But you know how many women from Eastern Europe told me happy birthday today, bro?
Damn.
A lot, man.
The Slayer, Justin. Okay.
Oh, no, I'm just saying. No, that's
Yeah.
how they are. It has not. I mean, has something to do with me, maybe. But yeah, that they are like that.
Or you got to
For
beg
sure.
for happy birthday here in Miami. It's your birthday, nigga.
Yeah, it's your birthday.
Come to your table for free.
Yeah. No, give me a bag for your birthday, by the way.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to me, motherfucker.
So I got a question for y'all after this. I'll just read this real quick, man. I got
Well, hold on. Before we read that. So, okay. So what is the biggest contrast, I would say, between the girls? Because you guys are here. You guys live here in Miami with us.
Right.
You know, you guys are up there in Midtown, which is, I always say people, all the hottest girls are actually in Midtown, not in Brickell.
They're not on scholarship yet,
Yeah.
bro.
I'll tell you where they are. They're in the Midtown Target.
And then
Farm
Andrew,
League.
you've been here. You've been
It's
here
the
for a
farm
bit.
leagues, bro.
We told you about that one. And Andrew, you've been here for a bit. What is the biggest contrast you would say between these Miami chicks here, right? Because it's arguable that we have the hottest girls here in Miami in the United States versus Ukrainian women. What's the biggest takeaway you would say distinction?
If I had to make my distinction, and you guys might disagree with me, I'd say there's a bunch of beautiful women in Miami. They're definitely easier to sleep with, but they'd be harder to retain.
Yes.
And that's because the ideals that's instilled in their mind are less congruent with the relationship, right? So if you get with a Ukrainian woman, you say, look, you don't have male friends. You don't go anywhere with guys. She's like, oh, of course. To them, that's normal.
Yeah.
Whereas over here, they'd be like, oh, but he's my friend. I only fucked him once, and all this sort of crap, right? So it's just that different mindset.
Yeah.
Overall, there's definitely a bunch of hot chicks here. There's a bunch of hot chicks there. I wouldn't even say one's that much easier to get than the other, but Waller just nailed it. The reason they all sent him a happy birthday is if you make an impression on a girl in Eastern Europe, they'll remember you.
Right.
Whereas if you make an impression on a girl in Miami, you got 48 hours and then your history.
That good impression.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
What about you, Just? What's your take on the difference between the two?
He's dead on.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's dead on. Like they pick the same way, but that girl in Eastern Europe, it's just a better breed of girl. It's like it's what
The appreciation is there.
yeah. Are you gonna mold something from dirt or are you gonna mold it from diamonds?
Bam.
Yeah.
And it's the quality of the girl you're molding. You know,
Perfect.
so
Cool.
That's the difference.
that femininity.
It's
more,
there.
kind of more traditional values in a way.
And they want it. They
Yeah,
want that.
They want it. The
They
other thing I
want that.
noticed is that you'll find like really dime pieces just sitting around on a park bench and
Right. They're waiting.
like,
And
waiting to
that-
get
and
asked
that-
out on a coffee date.
And that is the same thing. They want you to take control.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that actually Shooter's girl taught us very early on the second day.
Yeah.
And from then on, we walked up to them, said, hey, you're coming with me. They nod and go.
And they follow you.
And if not, they wouldn't, but they generally do.
Yeah, we were operating with cheat codes because we had a local contact. His girl is Ukrainian. She was just
Yeah.
like
She's-
she's betraying her own team.
She's gold. yeah.
Giving us all the
yeah.
tidbits like
Yeah.
She's the
say,
best, bro.
do
She's the
this,
best.
Do that, and we're like, this shit fucking works.
Yeah.
So shit that you would never like get away with in the States, probably.
Well, that's like I was
Yeah.
saying, like picking her up in your car or getting her the lift to the date, like like leading, like you
Little
just said,
stuff.
like,
Yeah.
little subtle things like that.
Right.
Yeah,
really
you
make
could
it
be cheesy in Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
You can say cheesy stuff. You could just message them and say, you're my girl now. Don't worry, we're forever. Like on date 2.
Right.
Like they like that.
Yeah.
You could be more on, I don't know. I don't know if that's an English Google Translate thing, or I don't know if it's just they just like it. I'm not sure what it is, but you can certainly be cheesier. But the picking aspect is basically the same. And I want to make that clear to
It's
the
very
guys who
much,
think
yeah,
they're just
you're
going to
right.
rock up to
Yeah, it's
Ukraine
not
and
gonna
get all
happen.
these chicks.
No.
Not at all, right? If you're a guy who gets laid here, you get laid there. If you're a guy who doesn't get laid here, you won't get laid there. But if you can do it, if you are looking for a wife, it's better. And as regards to Fresh's question about bringing them back here, I don't know why you'd want to bring someone from that culture to a system which is designed to destroy you. The system in the West is designed to destroy men on every level. And I know my solution, because people ask me, Rollo could talk about this even more than me. People ask me all the time, what's the answer? I agree with you, Andrew. What's the answer? And the only answer I can come up with is leave America, which nobody likes. But truthfully, it's very hard to have power in a household here in the United States when she can destroy you at a whim for no reason. How can you be powerful? I mean, what can you say and do? If she's the one with all the power, she's the one with the bullets. So it's difficult. If I meet a girl in Ukraine and we fall in love, I'd rather spend the time texting her and FaceTiming her and flying over there now and again, knock her up, get myself 10 Ukrainian sons, bam, 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 and shield her from the degeneracy.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
And I want to say this real quick too, because you guys brought up an excellent point. I didn't want to interject until all of you finished, but you guys were talking about how being a traditional man won't punish you like being a traditional man here. If you walk up in the United States and give a girl flowers on her first date or treat her like a gentleman or whatever it is, you're more than likely you're going to be punished for it because a lot of Western women don't appreciate these gestures, even though they say, oh, I want you to give me flowers and treat me like a lady and all that other stuff. But 9 out of 10 times, if you do that, you're going to get put in the friend zone category. You're going to be put in the nice guy category, and she's going to punish you by withholding sex or whatever, or leveraging sex for compliance. We talk about that all the time.
I want to say something as well. That, like,
Oh, go ahead.
for anyone who's like hearing that, don't get confused. We're not acting like simps out there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're like when I say we're being gentlemanly, but we're
Yes.
still being
You're
like,
gonna give them a box of chocolates and
Yeah.
flowers
Like,
on
we're
your
You're still
date.
being dominant and
we're still being,
masculine.
we're still being
Yeah.
men.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know,
You guys, you got to adapt your game for where you go. Like
100%.
certain countries have certain values and certain things that you got to follow, and you're not like changing who you are, you're just adapting to that situation.
Right.
And in Ukraine, women are more feminine, so you know what? If you act a certain way as a gentleman, it plays to what they want, and once you get them what they want, you get what you want. That's what
So,
I'll say.
and the other thing too is and I say that because we went viral about a week ago because I asked the woman, well, you want a guy to do this, this, and this, right? You want a traditional man? Yes, I do want a traditional man. Well, are you a traditional woman? And then they really didn't have an answer for that because they're not. And what I've noticed from like Western women in general is they want you to, stick to your masculine roots, be a gentleman, open the door, be confident, authoritative, dominant, be a leader, etc. All these things, but they want to absolve themselves of their traditional feminine responsibilities, which you guys were discussing earlier. And that's why I've always said, I tell guys in the West, a woman has to earn chivalry from you. You know what I'm saying? It's not just given. Whereas like in Ukraine, you could potentially just give it because she's a feminine woman off rip, but these women aren't necessarily feminine here in the West. They're traditionally feminine, which I always laugh because by that logic, well, let me just wear a dress and a skirt and say, hey, well, act masculine when you act feminine. That's kind of the logic Western women operate on. And being a nice guy here punishes you versus being a nice guy there, obviously while still maintaining frame, being attractive, being dominant will actually get you somewhere versus here, you tend to get punished for doing shit like that.
Do you think women respond more to like dark triad traits here in the West as
Absolutely.
opposed to
I think so.
outside of the,
100%.
outside
Yeah.
of the United States?
Like for example, if you go to Colombia, right, you did what you did here to get girls there, they'd be like, what's wrong with you? Like it would compute. Versus if you go to like any state, your dark triad methods, they work all the time. So
I'll give you a perfect example of this. And real quick, and I'll go to Andrew. Perfect example. He brought two girls from Mexico came to hang out with him. I'll never forget this. One girl, and she brought a friend.
Big
Yeah.
pimping.
Yep. And
Bad boy.
the friend met me, and I ain't gonna lie, I was negging her a little bit. Hey, you're short. Or I think I made fun of her shoes, whatever, right? Shit that typically wouldn't be that bad with an American girl. She was extremely offended, guys.
Yeah,
She didn't like it.
She got hurt.
She got
was
hurt.
Like, how dare you?
Yeah, she was like legit, like
How dare you?
and she didn't like it, and she ended up not fucking with me after, and the lesson learned. But that dark triad stuff a lot of the time doesn't work with foreign women that are traditionally feminine. So sorry, Andrew, go ahead. I just want to throw that in there.
And you're well traveled, Andrew, so you know off rip how to move.
Yeah, it definitely varies from country to country. And if I had to try and surmise it, I'd say that girls in the West, they're fucking with you and they're hoping and looking for fun. That's what they're looking for.
Yes.
Whereas I think in Eastern Europe and these countries, they're messing with you and they're looking for a future, and they're completely different things. And that has a different mindset. And it also means they characterize you in different ways. You'll hear all the time that Eastern European girls are gold diggers. I don't know if you heard that. You hear like Russian girls love money, all this kind of stuff. Well, they don't want to have kids with a broke boy. So like a lot of it isn't even about trying to get money out of you for handbags, but if they can see you're financially secure and you can actually provide for a family, and then you start talking about a family, they love that shit. They're like, yeah, that's exactly what I want. They're actually hoping for a future and a family. Whereas I think over here, they're just hoping for fun. A girl will sleep with a guy knowing that there's zero future, but it's fun for a few days. It's for a few weeks. It's very temporarily minded. And that's the big difference between the mentality of the two.
Facts.
And that's because there's no careers over there. You have to understand their mindset. There's no career. There's no job. None of that crap. The only way they're ever going to have a real healthy lifestyle is via a man. And they understand that. So they're going to play their role to try and get it. They're not going to be out here like these Western girls trying to make a job, make their own money, all this crap. None of that exists. So it just changes the mentality.
And Rollo, I want you to.
I think you told me as well that there's like there's a stigma there of like dating a single mother, for example. Like you would never see like Eastern European man shacking up with a single mother.
Never.
Like you would over here in the West.
Never. And that's why even it's funny. Like if you walk around Romania or Poland, you'll see a woman with a stroller, but she's still hot. Her body's back. She got some fake titties put in. She's a 10. Like it's crazy. And it's because she needs to keep her man, because if she loses her man, no one else is going to come along and be second dad to that kid. Nobody's interested. There's too many hot girls around. Nobody's interested in playing that game. And it's a different mentality over there. They do really believe in trying to keep their man. They're more tolerant of things like cheating, etc. If you take care of them, they have a mindset which is very much like, look, I'm taken care of. He's my man. I get this, this, and this. So I'm going to pretend to not see that. I'm going to try and do this. Da, da, da. I've never had a girl in Eastern Europe refuse to make me coffee, refuse to make me dinner, refuse. I've never had it. I've never had it ever. It's just not the mentality.
He's absolutely right.
Y'all were laughing at that guy yesterday when I was on, who was saying that was it idle hands or the devil's playground. It's like maybe they need to be preoccupied right now.
Yeah.
In other countries, maybe they are more preoccupied.
Speaking of other countries, I think that one thing I would say is about America is Miami, LA, New York City. That's an outlier. It's another country in itself. Because I can tell you, like, we put these buildings up all over the country. There are good girls in America.
For sure.
They're in the small towns.
Yes.
They're Andrew's version of Moldova.
Yeah.
You know, you go to Baton Rouge, or you go to a southern town, or like a town in Texas. Those girls will get in line.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you are that guy, they want that too. So a lot of these guys watching the show, they see the girls that come in here, these Miami girls. It's a different kind of girl.
Yeah.
Completely.
Mhm.
So those guys have hope. Like, if they hold their frame, they take care of their shit, they pass all shit tests and hold what they've got. Look, I know for a fact you can make a girl, and Stirling knows that what I'm talking about. You can make a girl do what she needs to do.
Just don't get married though.
You can build a woman
Don't get married.
for sure.
Yeah, you could definitely build a woman in the
Yeah.
West. I agree. You know, it's a little riskier, harder,
Right.
but you know, because you have all these conventions in place that can fuck you up.
Right.
And she might agree with these conventions, but I agree with you that it can be done.
It can be done.
And we say build a woman for a reason, because every single woman, no matter whether she's from Poland, Ukraine, or the United States, is built. You do not find good women. The
Thank
idea you're going to
you.
go out there and just
Thank
stumble
you.
upon
Yes.
some
Build 'em.
perfect creature, that's a fallacy. And that's a
Yes.
fallacy you need to remove from your mind instantly.
Yes, you build a good relationship. You do not find it. It's not. There's no such thing as a turnkey relationship.
Correct.
Point.
That's
Absolutely.
approachable.
You have to build it, and that means you have to be man enough to build one, right? That's just the reality of it. So all these people who are out there constantly looking for a girl who behaves perfectly. And I've heard some stupid advice from a bunch of other people. I don't want to say names. I had some guy with a blue check mark message me on Twitter, and he's like, look, I'm trying to find a girl who understands to behave right, and I'm trying to find a girl who's done the self-work and is introspective and has been to therapy and understands. I was like, bro, I don't know what planet you're on. You can't even get a girl who's hot.
That's
Let alone
gay.
a girl who's hot and been to therapy and is going to listen to a dork like you.
Yeah.
That's the reason girls aren't listening to you, is because you're a nerd.
Yep.
Right? That's the reality of it. If you want a good relationship, you're going to have to build a good relationship. And females aren't stupid. You know, for you to be authoritarian, for them to look it up to you with authority, you have to show some competence. They're not going to completely bend over and comply with you just because you have a dick.
Right.
And that's what this trad-con crap is. This idea that, well, I'm a man, she's a woman, so she obeys me no matter what. Most of you men aren't men.
Yeah.
And that's why she doesn't listen to you. Because I'm telling you, if you meet a woman who's half good and you're the big G, she'll behave.
Shit
There you
goes
go.
away. And Andrew says all the time that respect equals love. And I believe that
Yes.
fear equals respect equals love.
Yes.
So she needs to know that if she does anything outside of the framework of what you want, her shit's at the road.
Yep.
And if she knows that for a fact and she can respect you, Andrew's dead on about that. It does. Respect absolutely equals love, man.
100%.
You know?
100%. The same thing. Women, listen, a woman hasn't got to like you. She has to respect you. I have women who respect me and hate me, and I still fuck them.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
she just has to look at you and go, you know, I can't stand you, but you are the man.
I get,
So-
I get that.
yeah.
I get
I
that
agree.
question all the time. Like when guys say, "How do I establish boundaries in my relationship?" I say, "You just do it. You actually, there have to be consequences, right?" The most common question I get from guys is like, "My girlfriend wants to go on a girls' night out, or she wants to go on a weekend to Vegas with her girlfriends and stuff, and she's asking me if it's okay with me if she goes." I'm like, you know what? The answer to that is yes. Let her go, and then when she comes back, all her shit's out on the fucking sidewalk when she comes back.
Yeah.
Because it's not about like ultimatums, because ultimatums are essentially declarations of powerlessness. What you have to do is demonstrate the fucking power. That's what you have to do. And so there has to be consequences. Let the child touch the hot stove so that it understands that that's the boundary for where you're going. Demonstrate, do not explicate. And I don't know how many times I've answered that question where guys are like, well, what should I say? Should I be okay? Because I don't want to seem like I'm insecure in my masculinity for letting her go. But then again, I don't want her to go, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, let her go, kick her shit out. Because it's not about the conversation you're having. It's about the fact that she wants to do it in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Why
that's-
does she
and
want
that's-
to do it?
That's
Yeah.
the problem.
That's the problem.
Once you
Yeah.
get there, it's
Yeah.
too late.
It's too late.
That
Right.
frame should have already been
Yeah,
set.
yeah, the decision's already made.
Yeah.
And you have to rewire her brain. So I've never had that
Yep.
exact scenario, but if I have a scenario like that where a girl's trying to do something I'm not comfortable with, let's say I get a brand new girl, she's a male friend, that kind of thing. I'll sit there, and my threat as such is certainly not an ultimatum, because Rollo's right. My threat as such is to take her less seriously. So I'll just say, look, the kind of girl I'd take seriously wouldn't do that. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Do what you want. But the kind of girl I'd be serious about doesn't act that way.
Yep.
And if she sits and goes, well, I still want to go. I've told her I will not take you seriously if you do it, and she still wants to do it. Well, that tells me all I need to know about my relationship with that girl.
Queen
right?
sacrifice.
That queen sacrifice. If she sits and goes, well, why
She
would you take me
belongs to the
seriously?
streets.
Listen, I'm older than you. I'm smarter than you. I'm wiser than you. I've been around the block. I know what I'm doing. And girls who act that way are not the kind of girl I can have a serious future and relationship with. It's a choice you must make. It's binary. You can't act in certain ways and also have my respect and my hope for a future with you. So which one's more important? You can make that decision. If she still walks out the door after saying that kind of shit, then man, you need to get yourself a new one.
And one thing that he does, if you notice, you look really closely, is he does not get upset. He does not show emotion. He does not let her drag emotion out of her right there. He just promptly tells her, hey, listen, if you're going to be that way, I can't take you seriously.
That's it.
So
don't get upset.
That way
don't get mad.
she can't upset him or us or whomever.
Yeah.
And so because she can't get that emotion out of us, and you just tell her matter of fact, she can't say you're an ass. She can't say you're yelling at her or anything. And I believe that's a big part of why it works.
That's the best way to do it because women, man, you also, another thing you have to understand about chicks, especially the ones who live in the modern world. Look at the Fresh and Fit podcast, right? They come here and they're addicted to drama. All they watch on TV is drama. All they see on Instagram is drama. Sometimes they want drama. They want emotions. They want arguments. Sometimes they'll say that crap about Vegas just trying to annoy you. They may not even mean it. They want all that emotion from you. But the problem is, if they can control your emotionality, if they can upset you to some degree, they have a level of control over you. So you have to be very, very careful getting angry at women. People, because I get called horrible names all the time, people have this idea that I'm out here screaming at girls, et cetera, et cetera. It's the absolute opposite. I'll just sit there and say, look, girls who act that way are not girls I take seriously. I'm making it clear to you because I like you. I want us to be together. But if you're going to do these kind of things, I can't take you seriously.
Right.
So, I've been around the block. I know what I'm doing. That's my personal decision because I know what I'm looking for in a relationship. You can decide if you want to go Vegas or if you want to stay with me. We'll watch some movies. We'll chill. We'll hang out. It's your decision to make. Boom. And and this is the point, which most men don't understand. If you say that to a girl and she still goes,
she's going to do it anyway.
Yeah. And then you need to look in the mirror and accept I have no power. And if you have no power, then it's only a matter of time till it's over. Hey, I'm not saying don't stop fucking her. I'm not saying don't keep her, but start looking for a replacement because the clock is ticking, my friend.
Yeah.
The clock is ticking. Because with my girls, if I say, look, if you wear red lipstick, I don't take you seriously, I'll never see red lipstick again. Because all they want to do is please me.
Right.
So if she's still acting in a way she knows upsets you, man, you need to start looking. Yep. But Rollo's right. These guys don't set boundaries. They ask how they set boundaries. They know the answer is to just set a boundary and act on it. They won't act on it. So they come on here trying to ask for some magic solution where they don't have to enforce a boundary they set.
For an answer they already know.
Exactly.
And Rollo,
exactly.
just want to have join in burning desire because they want to keep you.
Right.
And I want to say this real quick too. You guys all made fantastic points. I like the fact that you brought up fear because when we bring girls on a panel, I always say if a woman truly loves, admires, and respects you, every other guy is going to be invisible to her. You know what I'm saying? She's not even going to have an eye for other men because women want quality and they think they got the best. They're not going to go for anyone else. And if respect is the house, fear is the foundation. And you need that foundation of fear. And I always say to guys on the pod, hey, she needs to have the fear in God that you can leave her at any time, and that's when women behave. I always say, Future, the song, bitch, don't get too comfortable. When a woman isn't comfortable, she behaves correctly because she knows you have other women in line. And the problem is that a lot of guys in the West, especially, they quit and they don't understand the basic concept that women cannot love you without respect. A woman's love cannot exist without respect being there first. And then that respect is derived from the fear of losing you. Well, a lot of guys think, well, she likes me, she's hanging out with me, but they don't understand she might not necessarily respect them. That's when she's going out to the club still, she's fielding her options. You're just a temporary fix to her real need to find the best option that she can get. You're just a placeholder, which a lot of boyfriends are just placeholders, and they're not willing to accept that. So guys need to literally, when I said, I went viral, you want to know the sad state of the West right now? I went viral on TikTok last year for saying, you need to punish bad behavior for women. No, am I a dog? Punish? What are you talking about? And that's how I got the name Frank Castle. But it's a forgotten art to hold women accountable for their poor decisions when they're in a relationship with you guys.
We used to call that dread, right? I mean, I've got 2 chapters in the first book. It's just, dread games is what it was called. And we weren't calling it fear because maybe it was, dread was maybe a more apt term for it. But it's we
don't mean smacking chicks, guys.
It's competition. Yeah, it's exactly. Because when you say fear, she needs to fear me. What's the first thing that jumps into women's mind? Oh, you're an abuser, right? And it's not that. No. And so when I'm talking about like dread, people gave me so much shit about like even calling it dread at that time. And there's a difference between like, say, active dread, where you're like, look, bitch, you're going to do this and you're going to do what I tell you to do. That's active, like overt dread. And then there's a kind of dread where it's like her girlfriends say, oh, Myron's pretty hot, man. I'd get with him if you weren't with him. Like that kind of third party, like pre-selection kind of dread, where it's like she values like, oh, well, I better, be on my best behavior because all my girlfriends want to fuck him too. You're the man that other men want to be and other women want to bang. And you don't have to like push that in their face all the time because it's already there and self-evident. That's passive third-party dread. So when they're seeing that reinforced around them, that's what makes you valuable, and that's what inspires the respect on top of that. Right?
And you can also instill guilt in them, and that's another thing. You can instill guilt in them. So if a girl comes to me and says, so this was about a year ago, I was in Romania, a girl said she wanted to go to some festival. I said, I don't think good girls go to festivals. I didn't think you were that kind of girl. She goes, what do you mean that kind of girl? All my friends go to festivals. I was like, but there's different kinds of girls out there. I didn't think you were that kind of girl. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you or your friends, but I thought you were a more serious type of girl. She goes, well, I am serious. I said, would your mother go to a festival without your father? She's like, well, no. I was like, I don't know. I just, and I'll say it in a very nonchalant. I'll just be like, oh, I don't know. I thought you weren't that kind of girl, but if you want to go, and then you bang, and you got to put it on them that way so they know it's a choice they're making that's going to devalue themselves in your eyes. Women try very, very hard for you to idolize them. They want to look beautiful. They want you to look at them and think they're amazing. If you're trying to say your choices will lower your value in my eyes, and they truly love you, they're not going to take the choice, right? It's only if they don't give a shit what you think of them that they're going to take that choice. And this is the problem with most men today. They'll do exactly what I just said. The girl will go anyway, prove they have no respect for the dude, and then he won't do anything about it. And he won't do anything about it, and he'll just go, okay, maybe next time. And that's not how it works. And I know it's, a lot of guys come to me all the time. Hey, I really love this chick. She doesn't act right. What do I do? If she's never going to act right and she's going to bang dudes, what can you do besides just be a man and leave? Like sometimes that's unfortunately the answer. There's no magic bullet.
It's the last line of respect.
It's
your last chance. It's your last chance of respect.
That's the last line of respect. If you're just going to tolerate anything,
it's the last line.
What are you going to do?
I'll read these chats real quick, and then guys, from this point forward, we're going to go 50 and up, and there's already like almost 7,000 you guys in here. So please do me a quick favor and like the video, man, and sub to the channel, and sub to all these guys' channels. As y'all can see, we got a lot of heat right here. Okay. So, and thank you guys so much. All this money will be spent on hookers and cocaine that are from Miami. No, I'm just kidding.
Guys,
Zach Hooks.
Just real quick, we are literally 3K away from hitting 500K.
Yeah.
We're going to have a big party in Miami. It's going to be
do it on his panel, guys. Do it on his panel.
3K away.
Sub to the channel.
There you go.
Okay, $20. Zach Hooks. I'm spinning multiple plates. What's the best way to let them know there's others without telling them directly or scaring them away? We will tell you. You'll hear that in a second. Let's see here. We got 3777 Converse. Marin Supak. We got to address Islam's innate solution to modern day problems when I'm in town again. Andrew, you ready to have someone who deals directly and emphatically with the JQ in the war room? Let me know. I'll join you soon. Okay. Link is below for the war room, by the way, if you want to join. Nimbus, $100. Thank you so much. What an amazing panel right now. You all have changed my life. Lost over 20 pounds in the past 2 months. Improved my IG. Raised my FICO substantially. Not getting finessed by 304s. And focusing hard on my purposes. I'm 29 and hope to be able to sit amongst men. You men one day. Sit amongst you men one day. Thank you so much. And then we got Douglas Ferreira just passing to thank you all. Love to see the tribe together because we don't have this anymore in this gynocentric society. Great work. Guys, we're all grinding and improving together. Facts. And then Boyan 203, shout out to Andrew Tate. Not only did he motivate me to become a boss and make more money, but also convinced me that it's time to permanently get the hell out of the U.S. And we're going to talk about that here in a second. Fran Civil, $100. Legendary panels tonight. The utmost love and respect for all of you gentlemen. Thank you. And then Rub and I think this is Russian dollars. In Russia and Ukraine, all the foreign guys must be extremely careful. The level of escort and hidden escort services are insane. Mostly all Insta models are on VIP list of escort. Also, foreigner means visa to USA. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Russia with much love. Okay, Yang Lee, 100. Women can't satisfy men's insatiable thirst for women. Yep, my voice said that. Men can't satisfy women's void for wanting more. They want ambitious men. You put too much time to make money. Now she wants time and attention. You give her too much time and attention. Now she's on a pedestal, etc. We'll talk about that delicate balance, by the way, Yang Lee. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Pat Sedgman's Polish passport. Oh, my God. I'm a lawyer helping Michaela's ex-hubby. Kids learn and lessons well from this panel. Don't be like him. Just because you're a good dad, good to your in-laws, and waifu says she's trad doesn't mean she won't ditch you. Okay. And then we got 115. This is absolute super group. Full respect from Australia. They just signed the worst bill, and it's hell here. So shout out to all 6 of you. Yeah, man. Y'all are locked down over there for real.
Get Australia.
Brother Beige, 20. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And then we got 50 from Amar CSC. Justin, glad to hear you're getting it. I own A&A Engineering. We're the top licensed structural engineering draft supplier for metal buildings in the U.S. Reach out. All right, cool.
Yep.
Shoot
Get at me on Instagram. JWaller7.
DM.
JWaller7 on Instagram.
Bam. And then last one, Zentian's $100, money worth spent. Stirling, Rollo, Tate, and JWaller. Much respect, gentlemen. Gents in the chat, keep your heads from exploding from all the knowledge. Also, say what you mean and stick to it, irrespective of female feelings. Sutter King, get a proper suit.
Bro, I don't wear suits, bro.
All right, so guys, from this point, 50 and up, just so that we can keep the show going. And then we got the last three here. Run 790. We don't want to interrupt because we got a lot of heat to share with you guys. We got a lot of things to cover. 150. Go panel somebody next to Tristan and tell him to lay off the 304 for the night and join the show, or at least bring Luke on after hours with 9 girls. Welcome to Big School. Tristan, guys, is very busy doing war room stuff.
Yeah.
So he's been working the whole time. Andrew's, running around shaking hands, kissing babies, but Tristan's working really hard behind the scenes. Yeah. Do you have anything you want to say on that?
That's basically it. It's about time he did some work. It's about time he did some work.
Philip, we heard the chemistry is so smooth. Wow. Sub to everyone. Avengers Unite drop. Thank you so much, bro. Yeah, because we're all friends off air, guys.
Yep.
Mitchie D, one merchant marine officer here, and the difference between Western women and women overseas is astounding. Chat, pay close attention because these gents are spitting facts. Don DeMarco, guys, thank you so much for the donations. There's 6,800. Like the video, guys. Okay. And then hail to the war room, and that's some Shield K9 dog training. Thank you so much. And guys, just so y'all know, the link is below to join the war room if you guys want to be around exceptional men like the people on this panel as well, guys. Don't forget to like, sub to the channel, sub to all these gentlemen's channels, and we'll continue on here. So
I got a list of questions here based on what they said.
Sure.
So first one we'll cover is spinning plates. So guys want to know how to be that alpha guy and have a lot of options of different girls, which is the abundance mindset. So each of us can go through how you should thoroughly spin plates the right way. And we'll start with Justin.
The chat.
The
Southern chat.
Before you start, spinning plates, dating non-exclusively, which is what you do naturally anyway. So
Mr. Hanson.
Just giving you the
Putting you on the spot, brother.
terminology.
Look, I think they know, honestly, and so I tend to treat them all the same. I treat them very, very well. I hold a very, very, very tight frame. Nobody asked me to go on girls trips. And like you guys always say, that they're willing to share. They're absolutely willing to share. And what they want to know is that they have position. That's really what they want to know, because they don't get as jealous as we are through infidelity. They want to think they have position. And if they think they have position and feel confident in that position, they will stay. And especially if you're hitting it right. That's a fact. Dick game matters. Yep. So go hard in the fucking paint. Go hard in the fucking paint. Leave it on the field. We're trying to win fucking championships, bro.
Bang.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to sweat. You know how you go in the bathroom after and you look in the mirror and you're like, dude, you fucking knocked that out the park.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. The shit matters, bro. So if you can make them feel like they're in a love story, and me and Sterling joke a lot, we call it dark game, and like you text them constantly, and if a tree falls in the woods and nobody hears it, is it there? So if she feels like the most important girl in the world, but she kind of knows that you have that going on, she doesn't want to look. And if fear equals love and she respects you, it creates this new kind of freedom where they're willing to give you a yard pass on that because you're the best option they have, and you treat her well and you're respectful and you draw the line and you keep it. Then man, it's easier work than you think.
That is key.
God damn.
It's easier work than you think.
Bam. Answer, there. Andrew.
Yeah, he's completely right. It's really not that difficult. I mean, I'll say now, I don't really consider myself as a man who spins plates. I have girlfriends. And when I say girlfriends, they are loyal to me. They do not speak to men. They obey me. They are my girlfriend. Sometimes some of them know about the other ones. We've all been on camping trips together, blah, blah. So I have girlfriends, and JWaller nailed it. If they feel like they're in a love story, the only thing they're going to really be saying to you in the ear is, how do I know I'm not just another girl? How do I know you care about, how do you know you care about me? They care about the position. The actual infidelity act really isn't that a big deal. And I'll tell you now, man, and this comes down to dick game. If you fuck weak, you can't say these things. If you're banging a girl and you look her in the eyes and tell her, I'm going to cheat on you the second you're out this fucking door,
she'll come hard.
She loves it.
Come hard,
they love it because they love the competition anxiety, right? And females are biologically designed to share a top tier male. If they truly believe you're that guy, they're going to understand it. I'll tell you something now. This is a bit of a crazy theory. I don't think women respect men without other women.
Yep.
I really think that my girls now, as much as they complain that they'd love to be the only one, would respect me less if they were actually the only one. If I gave them what they wanted, they'd be less happy than they are now because they wouldn't respect me the same. I mean, I think when they really look at you as God's gift, they think it'd be strange that you don't have another girl. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true.
It's facts.
They care about position. They care about feeling loved and cared about. And I've talked about this at length before, but there's so many ways to make a girl care about. I'll tell you a very super quick story. A couple years ago, I had a girl. She was my main girl. I'm sleeping with all these other girls. And she didn't care what I did. She didn't care if I had a threesome, fucked this girl, fucked her best friend. She didn't care about none of it. She hated if I actually physically slept next to another girl. That was her thing. You only sleep with me. I get to hug you while you sleep. That's what I want. You can bang anything, you can jizz anywhere, but please, can you sleep next to me? And what she was doing is she was changing her mind, so she had a new way to determine her status as opposed to sexual exclusivity, right? And if you can find something, if you can show them something so they can look in their mind and say, well, I know I'm the one because I get this. Now, you can come up with 5 different things or 5 different bitches. but that's the basic game. Waller nailed it. That's the basic game. It's really not that hard. And a lot of guys who are struggling with it, I find that kind of not surprising, but you just need to live your life and be who you are. And if you got the right woman and your frame's tight, etc., she ain't gonna leave it. It's gonna be pretty organic. It's not something you have to sit down and say, look, I'm gonna fuck all these girls, you need to stay. It's not like that.
Autistic at all.
It's not autistic. It's very organic. It's just like she's dating you a while. She notices something in the apartment. What's this? I'm like, oh, don't worry about them bitches. Come here.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
some hoe.
It's some hoe. Yeah, and you just famoose it.
Yeah.
That's the game.
Finesse.
By the way, that can also be true. You can also actually care about the girl and not care about the hoes.
Completely.
Absolutely, man.
Say that every show.
Yeah, no. I mean, dude.
Agreed.
Yeah.
A man can 100% love his girl or his main chick the same and fuck another girl. Like, for us, sex is extremely physical. And for some weird reason, I have to beat this into girls' heads every time they come on the show. They can't understand that concept every time I mention that.
They understand it. They emotionally can't accept it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bing.
And the autism's the one thing you want to avoid. Like, even the way that question was asked. I'm spinning plates. How do I tell my plates? I'm spinning other plates. Like you can't be sitting down with some chick really and saying, listen, here's the deal, blah, blah. It's not organic. It has to be something she kind of half knows, kind of half suspects, excites her a little bit at the beginning, something you kind of half mentioned. She knows you're about it, but she's not caught you yet. Then by the time she catches you, it's not that big a shock. You play it down. Boom, boom, boom. You know.
I know.
No, because like, think about it, right? It's a little bit of a finesse.
Life's a finesse, my friend.
It's a finesse.
Life is a
You
finesse.
can't tell her to her face. You gotta let her see it play by play, action by action over time. Okay, cool.
The most important thing, I think the most important cardinal rule to not break is to never sit there and just lie blatantly when you're caught, because when you lie, you look like a coward, and that's unattractive. So if a woman ever catches me, I caught you with this girl, and I know I'm actually caught. If she just makes it up, I'll be like, shut up. But if she actually caught me and I'm completely dead caught, I'll be like, look, why are you jealous? She ain't even got tits like yours. What are you jealous for?
You know what?
You know, you gotta just be a G about it. But if you're gonna sit there and go, no, baby, no, it wasn't me, baby, and
You're
that's
a coward.
You're a coward, and that's why most men lose their girls when they're caught cheating. They act like a coward, and then the woman's like, well, you're actually
Respect's gone.
Yeah, you're just a bitch. Respect's gone, and the game's over.
I got a story on that. There was a girl I was seeing, and I knew that she had left her fiance because he had cheated on her. And we were having a conversation about this. And I said, you didn't leave him because he cheated on you. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, you left him because he was so scared of you and he cried like a little bitch and denied it. You could no longer respect him.
Correct.
And me and her got no problems with me doing whatever the fuck I want from now on. It's over.
That was easy.
It's done. It's just that done. And I'll say another thing on that. What Andrew was saying is absolutely right. No woman wants a man that other women don't want, because if other women don't want you, what the fuck does she need you for?
Bam.
I think this plays to what we discuss all the time, that if you ask a woman what she likes in a man, she's always going to give you politically correct answers that actually lower your arousal, but might subtly increase your attraction. This is one of them. I want you to be faithful to me, whatever. And as soon as you give her that, what happens? You take the L. And the thing that I've come to realize is I always say there's a bunch of attraction triggers, right? You know, you got the pre-selection, leader of men, confidence, attraction, height, all this other shit. But by far, the biggest attraction trigger is pre-selection.
Yes.
And women need to know constantly that they are with the best man that they can actually get. And there's nothing more genuine and authentic than other women showing that they are attracted to you. So she constantly knows in the back of her mind, I got the best that I can get because I have to fight to keep this guy, and all these other girls want him. Because women, unfortunately, what I've come to realize, need a cosign from their partners.
Right.
If we're all in the club, right, and I meet a chick, and she is hot or whatever, I'm not going to consult with you guys to leave with her. I'm just going to leave. You're like, where'd Myron go? Oh, he left with some bitch. Oh, okay, ha, ha, ha. And you guys all continue drinking and partying. But girls, on the other hand, if they're with their girlfriends and they meet a guy, they could be head over heels. Oh my God, this guy's so attractive. I want to fuck him. She's still going to go to the bathroom with her friends. Okay, I met this guy. Here's his Instagram. He's really cute. I kind of want to leave with him. And they're going to fucking have a discussion about it and talk. And then if the panel agrees and she's not going to feel like a slut after, she might leave with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, women need a cosign from other women. It might not be that deep, but to some degree, the hive mind, as Rollo calls it, needs to approve of the man to some degree. So that's the difference between us and them. They need that constant validation with their own two eyes that other women want him. And sometimes it's her finding a brush in your closet. Maybe it's hair on the floor. Maybe it's hair in the drain. That's what they need. Sometimes they'll get mad, but at the same time they'll get aroused.
Hair in the bed.
And a lot of the skill is when they catch you. That's where the skill comes in, right? So I wouldn't say I deliberately get caught cheating, but I don't try that hard.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not like changing the sheets and having a shower.
Sterling.
She'll just walk in, same bed sheet. Like I got shit to do.
Wash all the makeup.
I got shit to do. And like if she might find something around the house, I'm lucky because I live with my brother. I'll be like, oh, that's Tristan's. She'll be like, why is it in your room? I'll be like, I don't know, that's T. And then I'll say that at the beginning, and that's like the precursor, right? Because she caught this. I said my brother's girl put a hairbrush in my bathroom attached to my living. She know that ain't real, but it's the precursor. You kind of ease her in, and when she finally catches you, that's where the game comes in. That's where the actual famous is.
Bam.
And it's just a little bit of skill, a little bit of finesse, and you just have to convince her. I don't know what you're worried about some stupid bitch for. I thought me and you were serious. I thought you were the kind of girl who was interested in a long-term relationship. Why are you worried about some stupid hoe? And reframe it. Like, why are you acting this way? Yeah. Like I didn't do nothing wrong. Why are you acting this way? Why don't you act like an adult? We're all adults here. Well, you never had a man? How many men? You a virgin? Oh no, you fucked that guy. So what? Oh, but that was before you. Before me, after you. I don't give a shit. You took dick. Why are you coming to me complaining I had a little bit of pussy? Be quiet. It's fucking Friday night. We're supposed to go out for dinner. You coming or not?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the game, man. It's done. It's done.
I'll tell you about a guy getting caught. I'll tell you about a guy getting caught red-handed. This guy brings a girl over. she like was changing. She's washing his bed sheets. She finds this giant. And this is a brunette, by the way. Finds this giant ball of blonde hair in the middle of his goddamn bed.
Calm everywhere.
With that stain that's obviously a woman's. On the bed sheets. Just owned it. This guy. I watch this guy play this stuff off all the time. We live together, in case no one realized that. But I watch this guy play this stuff all the time. And what she said to you was a perfect example of like maintaining that frame. You didn't act like a little bitch like most dudes would do.
Nope.
You were super calm. You were joking about it. You were super calm about it. And she even asked you. I heard she asked you. I just want to know how help me process this. How do I process this? Right. That's how she approached him.
And that's how it should be, because she should look up to you in that way.
Yeah. Right.
She came to me for advice on how to handle me sleeping with that blonde. That's where you got to get.
Yep.
And that comes from scarcity.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't create fear and respect happens in that moment right there. What do I do, Justin? Yeah, I can't remember what I said, but it wasn't, I'm so sorry I didn't do it. Yeah. It was probably like, you want me to call her over or some shit like that. It's probably what I said.
You probably told her something along that.
Know your role. Yeah. Shut your mouth because the people's champ is ready to talk.
That is important, because if you can't hold frame right there, you're about to lose.
Yeah.
You're about to lose.
And you can't. Another big thing that dudes fuck up with is that they're not immune to the tears.
The tears.
You got to be able to sit there and put up with the
emotionless.
And why is it? Yeah.
And like, it doesn't mean you're bad. Doesn't mean you're a bad, evil person if you can just sit there and listen to a woman cry and not flinch.
And what you have to know about that, because Mr. Tate says this all the time, they only cry because they got no hands, bro. They got no fucking hands, bro.
That's Tristan's line. Tristan will do it all the time. Tristan will be in the club with two of his chicks who know each other, and his third chick or fourth chick will find out on Instagram and try and run to the club and turn up to that. And Tristan will just turn to me and go, they ain't got hands. What they gonna do? They can't fight me. You can't attack me. Tristan's like, I'll take all three at once. They ain't got hands. So all they're gonna do is cry and attempt to manipulate you. It's a manipulation tactic. And if you fall for it, it's your own fault. And once again, you can finesse that shit off. If a girl cries in front of me, I say, if you keep crying, I'm gonna fuck you. I'm telling you, stop crying. You're gonna get fucked. You make a joke of it. She's sitting there
after they cried at the same time.
Before you know it, she's getting fucked. That's the game.
My guy, shout out to Donovan Sharp. He says this all the time, and I agree with him 100%. He says a woman's tears are only genuine when she's alone. not in front of others.
Bet,
Yeah.
bet.
And
Yeah.
and yeah, you guys got to understand that like that's what women will do because they know they're pretty much at a last resort. So they know that a lot of guys don't feel comfortable watching a woman cry or being like being in a damsel in distress. So a lot of guys will sit there and try to comfort or whatever. You got to stay strong and be like, I don't give a fuck. Like it is what it is.
Because you're training her to do that again.
Yeah.
You're training her to do that again
behavior.
in that moment.
Yep. You got to let her know you don't give a fuck when she cries. Guys. I know it sucks, but
That's time to cut attention right there.
Let me see if I can
There you go.
add
Yeah,
something
please, go
to
ahead,
this
Rollo.
because I know what's going to happen because there's going to be 100 people in the comments. There's going to be 100 people in the chat right now. They're going to go, "What's Rollo going to say? He's been married for 25 years. He's not spinning plates." Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you a story. In fact, I'm not going to tell you the story. This guy's going to tell you the story right now. I just had these guys out in Lake Tahoe, and we were up there for about a week, and you guys met Mrs. Tomasi.
We did, yeah.
What was your impression of Mrs.
Lovely woman.
Lovely, a fantastic
What did you
woman.
just say on
the other week.
Rule Zero the other day?
Yeah, so if anyone who's like, has a crack at this man because he's married, I have personally been around him and his wife
And my dogs.
and your dogs, who are also lovely. But Mrs. Tomasi is like Rollo's biggest fan. Like, honest. I mean,
Would you say she admires me?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at the text you're getting at dinner tonight. Like, she's constantly saying, like, hey, how's everyone? She's asking about how your friends are doing.
Right. Yeah.
How's everyone doing? Like, how all that stuff. And you just sit around them for like 5 minutes, and she just literally like looks up to the man all the time. Like that's a good wife.
As she
good
should.
wife, good woman.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So because I know what people are going to say. Well, how do you make 25 years of marriage work? Because I just passed that back in July. I put
which is a huge feat, by the way, Rollo. I gotta give you a done.
Let me tell you something.
Let's not
Shut
go-
you, man.
That's huge.
So
That's not
I
easy.
put out one tweet in July. In fact, I was in Tahoe when I did it. I was there. I put out one tweet. I said, on this day, 25 years ago, I got married. That's all I put. And everybody was either too pissed off at it or they were too happy about it, right? They were just like, oh, yeah, congratulations, pat you on the back. Or the other guys are going, oh, it's just cheaper to keep her. Fuck you. Marriage. No, don't ever promote marriage. You're endorsing marriage. That's all I did. Because that's the polarity, the binariness of that, of being like that. So people ask me all the time, they say, well, how do you have a successful relationship? And I don't use my marriage as an example because my success is not your future success, right? My past performance is not your future success, right? And so I try never to use that as an example, but in this case I will, because my wife understands who I am. People have asked me, how did you vet for your wife? I said, I vetted myself for her because I wanted to know, can I be faithful to this person? Because I know I know me, I've seen me do it. So what are the consequences of that as far as like family is concerned and children and everything else is concerned? But there was always the default respect. She knew from the get-go that I was a guy that other men wanted to be and other women wanted to bang. I already had my past by that time, my rock star 20s that everybody's going to talk about. And then on top of that, my line of business was wine and spirits and the casino marketing for a very long time. So I'm around the beautiful people. I'm selecting the beautiful girls to go do, liquor promos and martini fests and Deerfield Beach, right? It's just the way my life has sort of, unfolded. And on top of that, I'm also very red pill aware. So I understand that there needs to be a default amount of dread, even if it's just passive dread. In fact, I would say passive dread is more effective than overt dread. Another thing is in the very first chapters of the first book, imagination. Imagination is your best tool in your, PUA, whatever, your game toolbox. Because it's everything we've talked about up to this point is that woman imagining you with another woman. It's everything is this imagination like, like you just said, she's got bigger tits than you, right? Suddenly you take her on this emotional high after an emotional low, and that's the imagination of losing you, of losing value that she has invested in you. Because you got to remember, between the ages of 18 and about 28 years old, and that's the prime demographic that most guys want to get into. That's the ages at which that woman has the most sexual capital. And so if she's with you, she's got to invest some of that capital in your potential. And she has to be a good judge of character. She has to say, okay, this guy's going to be a winning bet. He's going to be a winning horse. I'm going to bet on this guy so that when my capital declines, when my sexual market value decays and is perishable, and he's hitting his stride at 36 years old, happy birthday.
Or 35 years old.
Yeah, 35 years old.
Thank you.
Shout out to Andrew, man.
You old bastards.
So that's why women, when they get jealous, for a different reason than men get jealous. So when men get jealous, it's like, did you fuck him? Where'd you fuck him? Are we here? Was it on the kitchen? Was it in the bathroom? Whatever. For women, it's, are you in love with them? And that's why she wanted to stay. I want to sleep with you. I want to spoon with you. No other bitch gets to spoon with you. Just me. You go fuck whoever you want to, but I want my emotional investment to actually pay some dividends.
Yeah.
Bam.
Correct.
Sterling?
Correct. Nailed it.
The question was about splitting plates, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tag on to kind of what these guys said about dick game. Like, if you know a woman's body better than she does, she knows you're fucking around. Like,
I like that.
Girls come into my our apartment or whatever, if I'm rocking her world all goddamn night, she's like, yeah, this guy ain't available.
Right.
Like, she's like, well, I'm gonna give her the best night of her friggin' life, and then I'm gonna not exercise that skill elsewhere. I sure as hell learned that skill.
Yeah,
Like
why are
playing
these
the
dudes
field.
hanging us off the balcony?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
We're putting on a show for all the midtown.
The neighbors can see, bro. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you've nailed it. Performance is super, super important. Like, there's only so much you can do without performance, right? There's only so much you can do without performance. And you're right. If you have experience, she's going to expect for you to have at least had a lot of girls or have the capability to have a lot of girls. I think there was a study somewhere, and this common sense, that men like the idea of a virgin. Any man, even us at 35 years old, you give me a 19-year-old virgin, I'll take one today. But women are completely repulsed by the idea of a virgin male. Even if she's a virgin, she doesn't want a virgin. She wants a man who slept with other women, right? That's their biological
They'll never
program.
admit it, but yeah.
But it's true. Like, if you get a virgin 19-year-old girl doesn't want a virgin 19-year-old boy. She wants one of us handsome bastards. Like, they kind of understand this on an innate level, and dick game's a huge part of that. You have to be able to perform at the end of the day, and you're only going to be able to perform with experience. And the more experience you have at having sex, the more experience you have at getting girls to have sex with you, and they put the pieces together. You know, if you're good at what you're doing, they put the pieces together. I had a girl say to me once, we were arguing about some shit. It's probably something about catching me cheating, and she says, you only get away with this because you can fuck. And I said, and I was like, well, maybe that's true. And she turned to me and she goes, no, you don't understand, Andrew. I was like, what? She goes, I've slept with four men in my life, and you can fuck. So let's say we break up. I have to go now and try and find a new guy who I think can fuck. He probably can't fuck, and I'm going to be disappointed. And then another guy, it's a year in now. It's my second guy. He probably can't fuck. And then maybe on the third guy, I might get a guy who can kind of fuck. It's a year and a half from now, and it's investment.
And every time she does that to try to replace you, she knows she has to run her number up.
Yeah,
which means she brings her value down.
That's right.
She's fucking herself.
She's fucking herself. And if you're a complete, if you're the Miami-esque hoe, you don't respect that. But if you're more traditionally minded, like some of the girls I kind of associate with, they're literally like, I have to go get 4 more dicks to get good sex. You're an asshole, but you know what?
And she's still she's still alpha widow.
Yeah,
she's still alpha widow.
Yeah, she's still.
Yeah, so I have one tiny little detail of that as well, because the guy talked about how can I, we don't like the way he was phrasing the question, but how can I display that I have options? And I'd say this, and we do this a lot, is have you turned down sex from her? At any point, are you too busy?
I do that all the time.
Like, she wants to come over.
She's
like,
fucked up.
Yeah, are you busy tomorrow night? Sorry, baby. And you know that she wants to come over and suck your dick, and she knows that she wants to come over and suck your dick, but you're still turning her down.
On principle.
That's the guy that has options.
Sterling, I know we both do this. If you want to traumatize her, do it when she's laying in your bed.
Yep. Say no.
Do it when she's laying in your bed. She does some stupid shit, says some dumb shit to you, and she goes to reach for it. Nah, roll over on her ass.
Yep.
It'll change the whole.
Dude, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Deny and grow sex is huge.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Another fantastic way to give her inklings. This is easy for me, but you boys live together. Obviously, I live with Tristan. So any girl who's around me long enough sees Tristan bring 4 or 5 girls a day inside out.
Yeah.
She's like, she goes, how do I know I'm not one of them girls? I'm like, listen, baby, I'm the good brother. And then Tristan will go, yeah, he's the good brother, and roll his eyes. So she'll kind of be like, are they joking? Are they not? And it eases her into the idea. And what's funny is, if she's around it for a few weeks and she sees Tristan doing all this and Tristan's making jokes, and what they end up doing is laughing and joining in the jokes. They end up saying, Tristan, that last one, she really likes you. I could see in her face, instead of which one's coming next, and being his friend about it all. So when she's his friend about all the pimping, it's harder for her to get mad at me when she catches me doing the pimping. So if they're around that environment, if you have boys around you who are living that lifestyle and they're kind of around it, if they get a bit more accustomed to it when they get to get eased in when they see your boys doing it, and they're like, you know what, it really ain't that big a deal. But obviously that's harder if you're rolling with a bunch of punks. But if you're rolling with the G's, it's not.
Then it's
very,
easy money.
Very true, man. That's actually a very underrated tactic. Is having guys that are also pre-selected in your team, that's rare in itself.
Listen, having guys pre-selected on your team is absolutely it's so valuable.
Huge.
And most of these dudes out here are rolling with lames. I see it all the time. Like, oh yeah, me and my girl split up and my friend was talking to her. Why would your friend talk to your ex? Listen, if Waller's ex upset him to the point where Waller had to leave her, I don't care what words she could possibly write in the English language to me on any platform on the planet. You do not exist. I don't need to talk to you. Waller said no to you. Why am I talking to you? Like, most dudes are so lame, their own friends are against them. I can go to Waller and say, listen, man, she ain't cleaning the house just because, I got caught fucking her sister and now she won't clean up. And Waller would be like, that bitch out of control, Tate,
Done.
You take my side.
Done, bro. Done.
It's crazy. And most of you guys are rolling with punk dudes. You're in a punk circle, and the girl doesn't respect you because she sees your friends are punks, and they're on some sly shit with your girl probably anyway, and your men aren't in charge of their women. If you get a new girl and you bring around your boy, and your boy's taking shit off his girl, what's she gonna do to you? She's gonna give you shit. You have to have an important circle. And what's even better, if you have a good circle around you, I'll tell you what me and Tristan do, because obviously Tristan's solid. He's my brother, right? Not only is having Tristan next to me good, but having Tristan's girl is next to me
That's
good.
fire.
Because Tristan's girl is now on the team.
Right.
So Tristan will have a girl who he's been with for a few years. She knows me. I'll say to his chick before we go out, give her a wink. She knows the game. We'll go out, me, a new girl, Tristan, his old girl. And after a few drinks, whatever, the girl will suggest, let's all go to the house. It's fun at their house. You should come. It's really fun. The girl will do the invites. The girl will do the fun moves because she wants to impress Tristan. I don't have to do anything. You need a team around you. Most of you dudes are rolling with lanes. I see it all the time. As you see all these dudes like competing for one chick. If we walk in, I don't care how bad a chick is. If my boy wants her, fucking have her, bro. I'm not out competing. I'm not trying to compete with my boy for some pussy.
Right.
Well, it's insane. I see full-grown men, groups of full-grown men try to compete for the same bit of pussy, and you all look like punks. In her eyes, you'll turn on your boys for some pussy? If I walk in there and say, you want her? Yeah, I actually like her. Enjoy.
Have her.
Have her, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Here's a pro tip on that: how you pick your friends. If I have a guy that I want to be friends with, and he's not in abundance of two things, money and pussy, he ain't my friend.
Bam.
He ain't my friend.
Yep.
Because he's in a desert, and it's not so much. It happens all the time. Guy's desperate, hadn't been laid in a long time. The friends break up, and then the first thing she does is call him. And it's not because he doesn't want to love that man. It's because he's so fucking desperate that he does it. He's in a desert of pussy.
He's starving,
and he can't get it anywhere else. And that's the only connection he has. And he loses a friend he could have had for life over 5 fucking minutes.
And I'll say this too as well, that I need guys to understand when it comes to like dealing with guys that don't have an abundance mindset with women. Men will do stupid things to get box, and the stupid things they do can sometimes compromise you.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Besides, like, an ex-girlfriend potentially having sex with you, whatever, he might change his thought process and put you in a compromising position because of women. You know what I'm saying? He might go ahead and, hypothetically speaking, right? You might be at a club. He might go and hit on a girl, right, that is tied to some individuals that you might not necessarily want to deal with. And now next thing you know, you're getting into an altercation because his dumbass is too thirsty or too stupid to acknowledge the fact that, hey, this girl isn't good to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Or he might bring a woman around you that is trouble. You know what I'm saying? That might fuck your situation up. Guys that don't know how to select women, or guys that don't get girls in general, they tend to have bad judgment a lot of the times, and they can fuck you up with their bad judgment.
You can't trust dudes who don't get pussy, because on a long enough timeline, there is a 1,000% chance they sell you out for pussy.
Bam.
Whether it's your ex, whether it's a new girl that they just get, then they stop replying to your ass because she doesn't like them hanging around with you anymore. They vanish on you. Dudes who can't get pussy are going to sell you out for pussy. And what's crazy about all of this is that most people very seriously understand that you are the product of the 5 people you hang around with most often. They say it all the time. You're going to be the 6th one. Hang around 5 millionaires, you're the 6th millionaire, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why most of you boys are rolling with dudes who can't get laid anyway. Like, if you're with some lame who can't even get a girl to talk to him, why are you even his friend? Like I know that sounds like a horrible thing to do, but when I roll out with my team, I know we'll all throw down if it gets into an altercation. We're all going to be able to handle ourselves for pussy. None of us going to fucking snake each other over a little bit of pussy. If we get arrested in the police station, they say, oh, Stirling said this. I say, no, he didn't. Fuck you. Call the lawyer. Like, you need to be with your boys. I don't know what you guys are even rolling with these other weak dudes and wonder why you're such a fucking weak dude and why these chicks don't think you're a weak dude, because you're also judged by your team. That's something else to keep in mind, man. You're rolling with a bunch of lames who are crying their eyes out over girls, and then you expect your girl to respect you. You don't even respect your fucking self.
And
So
one more thing too.
I got a story, right? So picture this.
What?
So we're out chilling with the boys, right? And oftentimes we spin plates, basically all our friends, we bring different girls around each other, right? So we're all having fun, getting lit. This one guy, right, has she's like a 10 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
Bad girl to the bone, always on there for him, right? However, he brings other girls around us, and it's like, okay, cool, we know what time it is, blah, blah, blah. This one guy fell in love with that girl from seeing her all the time. He would go behind his back and DM her and say, yo, you're a good girl, you know, you don't deserve this, your man's cheating on you, he's bringing other girls around. I was like, what
fuck
the
is
fuck?
that shit?
So what happens is, right, the girl's like confused. She's like, wait, my man's saying he's going to work, but he's bringing other girls around. Like, what's going on? So she's questioning, like, what's, you know, daughter her man now. He's putting doubts in her head. And then she says, you know what? Fuck it. I'm broke up with him, right? Over time. So then the guy that was DMing the girl tried to get with her. And it's funny because that whole dynamic there, he was never a friend. Went behind his back, sending her DMs, and it's like, yo, what kind of friend is that? So you're right, 100%. The guys that you roll with have to be getting laid, because if they're not getting laid, they can try to sneak behind your back.
And
I'll
one
tell you
more
another
thing.
thing. Her even answering that text
It's a problem.
is
Yeah.
like, hey,
Medium
hit
is the
it.
message.
She should have, once again, she should have told homeboy, yo, this was going on.
Exactly.
But she ain't gonna respect her man if she knows her man's rolling with men who snitch on their own man.
Bam.
It's
Bam.
it's the whole
Yeah.
trifecta
Yeah.
of disrespect. You have to respect yourself first. And how does a woman respect a man when she sees that he respects himself and other men respect him?
Yes.
Bam.
So if they're gonna sit there and go, all right, so you're my man, but the boy who's closest to you thinks you're such a bitch that he'll snitch on you, and he ain't even scared of catching some hands. Well, then fuck you.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
That's why there's two things that we do all the time when we're hanging around with girls. One of them is we never say a gut like we take the piss out of each other all the time, like here
Yes.
around
Yeah,
the boys,
yeah.
but we never say a damn
Yep.
thing negative about. Like,
Thank
we
you.
do not
I've
do
said that
around
all the
them.
time.
it's not
Never.
fucking cute, bro.
Never.
Can't do
We
that.
Like
don't
the
do that.
small undertone shit, it ain't
Never.
fucking cute, bro.
And the second thing we do is we always gas each other up.
Yeah,
Like,
the
he
second.
He brings a boy. He brings a like, hey, this is my new wife or whatever.
Yeah,
like around
yeah,
us to the club, you bringing a girl to the table. It's like, how the fuck did you get so lucky to meet Justin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
How
know
the
who that
fuck
is?
do you know who they find?
Do you, like when he goes to take a piss, dude, do you know who that is? Like, yeah, like the first date, you know?
Yeah.
Dude, that's Sterling fucking Cooper, you know? All the time. Like, I know for a fact when I go take a piss, what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like, we run plays, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta. And the thing, one of the
It's just-
biggest
it's unfair.
telltale
It's
signs,
super unfair.
the
Good.
biggest telltale signs of a guy that is not good with women is a guy that makes fun of his friends
In front
in front of women
Right,
on like a date or a
100%.
social situation where
Yeah.
they're trying to get
Yeah.
laid. They meet some girls, they're at a bar, they're at a club, they're on a date, whatever it is. Making fun of your friend
Or
in
apologize
a
for
disparaging
him.
way.
yeah, Rollo, what's
Yeah.
that? What's
Terrible.
that called? It hasn't. Is that ever got a name or something?
What, when the guy's apologizing for that?
When the guy's trying to like insult his own friends to look good to the girl.
Oh, he's
A-mogging,
A-mogging.
potentially.
Yeah, he's trying to A-mog him, but that's like A-mogging is there's a lot of different
Well,
varieties
randoms, right?
of that. What you're talking about definitely is, but it's another thing when it's A-mog stands for alpha male other guy, right?
And one other thing too, because we talked about the safety perspective of, dealing with a guy that doesn't know how to get girls, right? He might put you in a compromising position. Now, from a business perspective,
Oh,
you can't deal with a guy
Mm.
that doesn't get women, because what's going to happen is if he does get a girl or he does have a girl that he's been
Gone.
with long term,
Yes.
what he's going to do is he's going to compromise the business and or working to appease his woman. Because what do we know about women? They want attention, they want time, right? And to make money, you need to focus on that and not necessarily the women. The women are typically a byproduct of the money.
Yeah.
But what do? They're asking her for permission to do shit. They're asking
Right.
her for permission
Yeah.
to work late or whatever. Or no, bro, I got to get home. She's going to be mad at me because I haven't seen her in 2 hours. Like stupid shit like that will compromise your ability to be productive because he is tied down to some dumb bitch that doesn't understand that you need to make money. And women aren't just, Andrew, I agree with you 100% about this as far as like how men and women view money. Women look at money like, okay, I made enough to pay rent. I'm done for the week or I'm done for the month.
Yeah.
Men make a certain amount of money. Like if I continue to do this, I can scale up and make this much more money because men understand that we live in a meritocracy-based world. There's a hierarchy.
Yeah.
When a millionaire man walks into a room and there's other men there, they're going to be intrigued and say, I wonder, they're going to want to know, how'd you make that money?
Yeah.
But if you're around a bunch of women and a female millionaire comes in, the bitch is going to look at her like, who gives a fuck? She's ugly. I'm the
Yeah.
baddest bitch in here.
Yeah.
That's the difference between men and women.
I had
And
a
that-
story. I had a
that's,
story.
you know?
I had a
Go ahead,
story in the
please.
first book where I was talking about exactly this situation. I used to work for some very wealthy guys in the wine and spirits. I'm not going to name names right now, but there was one guy that I worked for, and he was very bad with women, but he was very successful in his business. So he was making a lot of money off his brands, off his liquor brands, and everything else. And then got into a situation where he was compromised because he was very blue pill and didn't know, his wife ran the show, and eventually they got divorced. He came out of it okay, but nobody wanted to invest in new products with the guy because they were afraid that they would go down with the ship if he made another bad decision with another girlfriend or with another wife, because that's what happens. He's like, well, I want to get married again. And he was like looking at getting married a second time. He could not get venture capital. He could not get anybody interested in the things that he wanted to do because they were worried that they would lose out like they did before on the first divorce.
Wow. Men that can't get women from a business perspective are 1,000% a fucking liability, man.
And especially if you're a partner with that person who is still very, very blue pill, man, and your financial future or your like well-being and revenue streams are dependent on this guy, waking the fuck up, then that's a really tough situation.
Yeah. So I'll read these chats real quick and then go on to the next topic. And we got almost we just broke 8,000 live viewers just now, guys.
What are the likes at though?
I don't know what the likes are at, but you guys gotta like the goddamn video right now. Yo, guys.
4.8?
Yo,
bro.
Yo, what the hell?
Come on now.
Come on, man. I don't want to have to stop the show, guys. Like the goddamn video, help us with the engagement, subscribe to every one of these guys' YouTube channels, and follow them on Instagram. Real quick, when you guys drop your YouTube channels, the links are below, but you can just tell them.
Yeah, youtube.com/C/Stirling Cooper. That is my YouTube channel.
Cool. You guys know what my channel is.
Rational Male.
Rational Male on YouTube. I also have a Clips channel too, which is Rational Male Clips.
Tate Speech, which is last name's Tate. It's like a hate speech play. Tate Speech is where I talk about the kind of things we talk about here. And I have Tate Confidential, which is an in-show watching me waste millions and millions of dollars a year. It's a lifestyle vlog.
It's a vlog. It's also a vlog channel.
Yep.
Yeah. YouTube, JWaller 7, and then Stirling and I have the Dark Gentleman channel, which is a vlog of us doing a bunch of random shit in Miami and then fucking around with Andrew.
Yeah,
so
fucking around with Andrew.
Yeah.
Lit. Okay, I'm subscribed. I didn't know y'all. Did y'all just make that channel?
Yeah, we got some stuff to add to it.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait on footage from Luke.
Waiting on shit from Luke.
Damn, Luke.
Fucking Luke.
Unique 79, all the way from Great Britain, $100. Salute to the esteemed gentlemen in the panel, real men on the panel. All men have to be disciplined in every area of their lives, from logic to sexual discipline. The way you live, speak, along with your actions will make many women conform to you. To the Furious 6, we got you, bro. And then 50 Converse. Hey, y'all forgot to address the question. Andrew, you cool with me bringing the JQ to the war room, i.e. dealing directly with who in the NWO is behind all problems? Fam, communism, Marxism, PC culture, MSM, wars, academia, control of banks, politicians, etc.
Bro, my friend, let me answer this very question because he's going to keep asking.
Okay.
The war room is not something that you're going to come into and provide me with information I don't already have or know. The war room is a very structured organization. We know exactly what we're doing. You're going to turn up and you're going to be humble and you're going to pay attention and you're going to absorb the culture and the information that's there and perhaps be accepted into our ranks. Don't worry about what you think you're going to bring to me, my friend. My life is fine. So if you belong in the war room, you'll find your way there. And if you don't belong in the war room, you won't.
Damn. King Chris, real quick.
So
King Chris is a
King Chris. Okay, shout out to Fresh Fit and the panelists. Legendary collaboration. Keep bringing the fire content. We're going 0 to 1 million real quick.
Facts, brother.
Absolutely,
All
bro.
the way.
They can't stop us.
Can't stop us.
No, read that one, Chris. No. Okay. Oliver D. Just turned 18 and have been growing online business for about a year. Congratulations. Making about $200K a month profit now. Good shit, man. Nice. How to navigate dating being so young and skipping college.
That's the next question.
That's the next question. $50 Gil. It's so I have never had trouble handling multiple women. However, my biggest struggle has been maintaining a solid team around me. How can I go from lone wolf to being surrounded by a solid team? The war room, my friend. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, that's the answer. The
link is below.
Yeah, the link is below, and the war room is a perfect example of you have to provide value to receive value. Mm-hmm. I'm always a little bit wary when someone says like they're a complete lone wolf. I know there's a lot of beta blue pills out here.
Sigma males.
Yeah, but usually you should be able to find somebody. And if you want to have good friends, you need to be a good friend.
Facts.
And if you don't have value to provide to people, you're not going to find high value people to provide value to you. So if you're really about it, we'll see you in the war room, but you will be tested. And anyone we don't like, anyone who I personally don't like is scythed. That's something that happens weekly. People get kicked out all the time. So it's an audition. But if you're about it and you're serious, then we'll see you inside.
I think he meant girls though, but I think we answered already anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. We got Simeon Penides, $60. Keep up the great work, especially Mr. Tate. Been a member of the Hustlers University for some time now and have been making money in stocks and e-commerce ever since. Keep up the good work, brothers. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. So what was the next topic that you wanted to hit, Fresh?
So he
and guys, like the video while he pulls this up, please.
He kind of covered it a little bit there with being young and dating. So next question is basically, what should all men do in terms of importance? Should they chase purpose or girls? And we could cover it either from long term to like, coming from school to becoming a man and being 30 plus, or even as beginning of like being a man already. So covering basically, should guys chase girls or should they chase purpose or passion first?
First of all, you should never chase girls. You should be on that mission, and on the way you run slap the fuck over them because they get in the way, bro. You absorb them. You never chase them anyway. You don't chase girls. You're there. You are who you are. You're on your own mission. They see it, and then they chase you. It's really that simple.
Yeah, you absorb them. Absolutely.
You absorb women.
You nailed it. That's a good word. Absorb them. I'm gonna start saying that. I absorb some bitches.
Yeah, I absorb women.
I absorb the bitches.
I don't chase them.
Take their souls.
Yeah,
take their
it's
souls.
gravitational. They suck into you.
But the truth is this, like the counterpoint, just for the sake of playing devil's advocate for the sake of the show, the counterpoint is that Justin's completely right. That's the way you should be. However, I do personally believe that for a man to have a happy life and a happy existence, that women are actually very important. I don't think any man out here, what are those guys who give up on girls called?
Black pill?
I don't know. Incel, black pills, incels, whatever. The guys who completely give up on females and say, well, my life will be easier and happier. I completely disagree. I think that females are a very, very important part, a very healthy piece of a good life. And I think that for that reason, they're important. Just like food is important and money's important and health is important. And if you're completely lacking in any one area, it's going to dominate your thinking and it's going to destroy your world, right? If you have no food, all you care about is food. If you have no pussy, all you care about is pussy. So there's obviously a degree of balance, but what Waller said is absolutely correct. You need to be on your mission. You need to be the man. And it needs to be one of the many things you need to do as a man. It can't be all you do, just like the gym shouldn't be all you do and working shouldn't be all you do. But they're all things that need to be done. You can't go through life and just completely neglect the ability or the need to acquire females, absorb females. But that shouldn't be your sole purpose, right? You have to be balanced. You have to be a balanced individual. And
you're dead on about that. Remember, because we were talking about it at lunch the other day. I look at it like buckets. Because you could be a super, super, super fit dude, but once that bucket fills up, it overflows. It's not worth anything anymore. Money, same thing. You can be worth $100 million. If you're a fat fucking dork, you're not getting pussy. So there's buckets, and they all can fill up, and it's the average of all those buckets.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can be as rich as you want. If you're a short, fat dork with no game, it doesn't help you anymore. You can be super, super, super in shape, but broke.
Yeah,
and with no game, same problem. So you have to do it across all of those things to get an overall best score, because you can fill that money bucket up and be a dork, and it doesn't matter.
It's the law.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
I love that, man.
That's a great analogy.
No, it's the law of diminishing returns, isn't it? If you're in good enough shape, getting down that extra 1% body fat takes all those extra hours, and nobody really cares. What you have to understand as a man is, and this is actually quite remarkable to me, is that as a man, we're born with absolutely zero value. We can build ourselves into what we want to be. I get people messaging me all the time like, hey, Tate, you have this money. When I was young, I wanted to be the big, strong fighter with money. I'm exactly what I wanted to be. I decided I wanted to be James Bond. And I got as close as I possibly could. You get to build your own character. If you want to be a rapper, you get to go be a rapper. If you want to be a gunslinging cowboy building steel buildings, you get to be Waller. You can do anything you want to be. I'm exactly what I always wanted to be. I wanted to be a fighter. I wanted to be rich. I wanted to be big. I wanted to be semi-intimidating to a degree. I wanted to be connected. I wanted to be like a mob boss from a video game. I made all of that come true. As a man, you can decide exactly what you want to be. So if you're a dork, guess what you decided to be? You decided to be a nerd. And then you're going to sit there as a dork and say, why are the big G's got all the pussy? That was your decision, my friend. You have to fill up those buckets that Justin Waller's talking about. You have to go fill them up. And women, we're talking about respect. Women aren't going to respect men who don't respect themselves. You're not going to sit there without working hard and say, well, I'm a man, so you have to listen. That's fantasy tradcon bullshit. That's not real. You have to be about it, right? So get out there and do it. And that's what when Waller is saying about absorbing women is absolutely correct. As you start to fill those buckets, you're going to learn so many lessons about life, so many lessons about interacting with other people, so many lessons about self-confidence, so many lessons about how to speak. You know, you're going to learn so much that all of a sudden you're going to go up to a bitch and accidentally fuck her. You never slipped in some pussy?
Yep.
All I do is slip in pussy. Trip over it. All I wanted to do was say hello. And now I'm like, shit. Not again.
It's like the video, niggas. Absorb. I got to say this too, because Justin, you brought up a fantastic analogy, which I will steal and give you credit on it when I use it again.
Buckets.
But those buckets, what I could say, I'll add to that. Each of those buckets you're filling with different types of soda. Okay, Diet Pepsi here, maybe Diet Coke here, Coke Zero here, whatever, right? And what you got to understand, some women only like one type of soda. Let's say I only want a guy. I want a guy that has money. That's my main priority. Cool. Well, you got that bucket filled to an acceptable degree, and you can go ahead and use that bucket. Or some girls, I need a guy that has money and is in shape. Well, you got those buckets covered as well, and you have both of those sodas. You guys need to have a goddamn, basically, vending machine of sodas available depending on who the client is that wants to drink said soda. A lot of you guys just become really fit and don't learn game or don't understand female nature or don't get your money out point or whatever. Right. And you can only offer that one soda. And unfortunately, some women don't like that only, or they want a combination. So you need to be well-rounded and have everything together: money, get in shape, learn female nature, learn game, etc. So you can be attractive to a large majority of women. And this comes, guys, not to get the girls, but that comes as a byproduct of your success. You already have the restaurant that the girls want to come into. You just had the vending machine there as a formality so they can pick the soda they want. But it's already built.
Bam.
And the women come to the restaurant because they know that the restaurant's already built. And I think when guys take it that way and understand if you build it, they will come, that's the mindset you need to have, because you need to become in order to come.
Yeah,
Also,
Myron, you nailed something super important there, because what you're saying is by filling up all those different buckets, you have a larger plethora, you have a larger chance with more women, and to a degree, it's numbers game. Nobody's 100% successful, right?
Yeah.
But you have a larger plethora of females to talk to. I can sit there and be rich. I can sit there and talk about the Yugoslav conflict with the Bosnian bitch. I can sit there and be the kickboxing world champion. I can sit there and be whatever it needs to be at the time. Chameleon. Whatever it takes. And as you're saying, that's a matter of having all the different buckets filled. And the guys who only have one bucket filled, they're the ones who fucked up. They're the guys who sit there and all they have is money and all they talk about is their money. You know how many times I've been on dates with rich girls and they're like, oh, I went on a date and all he talked about was money. I was so bored.
Yeah, dude.
Like, all the time. No,
Huge.
happens all the time.
Because you're one-dimensional. You are paper thin. Well, I was just going to say is that, as I was saying before, we got that guy who, that story I just was talking about, the guy who's very wealthy and, of course, didn't know anything about women. And what happens? He gets caught with his pants down. And now that deficiency with women affects his monetary status at that point. Like, people don't want to invest in him. They don't want to be partners with him. And one of the things I think that really gets thrown around right now is chasing women versus chasing excellence versus getting in shape. Looks are everything. And it's always, again, this binary fucking, tunnel vision, put the blinders on, as if that's the only thing you can do. So everybody says, well, don't chase women, just chase excellence. Okay, great. That's good advice. But what happens is when you get to that point of excellence, when you get that money and you're where you want to be, you get blindsided by some chick who sees you as a mark, who comes in and says, hey, you know what? It comes in and picks up on you because you don't know anything about women's nature, especially when you get to be about 30, 31, you start getting into your prime years where you're hitting your stride and you don't know anything about women. You're going to believe that chick who's 30 years old, 31 years old, who goes, oh, I just had my epiphany phase and I want to get right with God. And it's my clock is ticking and I need a guy who's going to be a good provider and protector and parentally invested. And you know what? A real man marries a woman. A real man will do the things that I want him to do now that I need him to do those fucking things that she didn't need you to do before. But you don't know any better because you have never had that education. You've been focused on just one fucking thing the whole time. And it can be, you're just chasing pussy all the time. And you know what suffers? Your finances suffer. Bam. Or maybe you're just in the gym all the time and you go, oh, well, I can get laid or I can get the attraction, but I don't know how to deal with women. You can still get blindsided. There's lots of guys who are very, very good looking, who get divorced, who get into bad situations. They get with a BPD girlfriend because it was the best pussy they ever had. Yeah. And the guy looks good. He can attract women, has no money, has nothing else going for him because he only focused on one fucking thing. And I think we need to stop looking at things in binary terms as chasing this or chasing that or chase fucking everything, man. I mean, you've got to have a well-rounded education just to protect yourself. Yeah. That's not even just, promoting and becoming more, chasing excellence, like getting yourself up to that apex level. That's great. But you need to do it for your own protection and your own security.
I'll say this real quick to add to that restaurant theory, building upon that, the buckets, the vending machine, the restaurant. What Rollo just described is you have the castle, you have the restaurant, whatever it is, this establishment, You need fucking security.
Mhm.
You need to have security that can identify the homeless motherfuckers trying to come into your restaurant and do what? Ask for free food, or try to ward off other patrons that are there that are paying money to come to your restaurant. You got to kick out the fucking homeless people. And that awareness of female nature is going to be able to help you identify the bums coming into your establishment.
It's like when the 48 Laws of Power first came out. One of the things that everybody said, it's an evil book because it teaches you power techniques and you're going to be a tyrant. It's dark triad and you're teaching men to be evil. This is what, and they banned it in prisons, back in the day. And because they thought that people were going to use that as an instruction manual to do, unethical, immoral things. Well, of course, what Robert Greene was saying is that, no, that's not what this is. It's so you know what these laws are. You're not going to use every law in the 48 Laws of Power because some of those are pretty fucked up, man. But it's not to say that somebody else won't use them on you. And if you didn't read that because some girl said, that's an evil book, you shouldn't read that. Well, then you're now at a disadvantage because you don't have that accurate information. Not that you would use, laws like, what is it? Get others to do all the work for you, plagiarize people or whatever. You're not going to do that. But if you're an author and somebody's like ripping off your shit, you better damn well know that law so you can protect yourself.
Yeah, just add to Waller's point as well regarding the buckets. It's important because if you're going to trap rather than chase, in terms of like, if you're attracting them to you, then you win because that's half the battle. Most guys come into life and they say, oh, you know what? I focus on school, focus on money and business. And like you said, they never focus on getting girls. But having that healthy balance of, you know what? Okay, cool. I'll work my ass off during the day. At night when I'm free, I'll learn about game. I'll go and practice. So there's a healthy balance of both parties.
Well, look at what happened to Brittany Renner and PJ Washington, for example. Okay.
Yeah.
PJ Washington, very great athlete, probably focused on one thing, playing basketball and being the best damn player he could be. What happened? He gets blindsided by Brittany Renner because, I mean, what is it? Deion Sanders had her on his show not too long ago.
I don't know why.
To have her on there so she can warn other professional athletes about women just like her doing exactly what she did at 29 years old and locking this guy down, finessing this guy and having a baby with him. And now she's set for life.
I mean,
that's some fucked up shit.
That's
You want to talk about cognitive dissonance, man. There you go.
You just told him, instead of bringing her, but hey,
But men listen to women, not other men, a lot of times, which is the sad part because you should be getting this game from guys, not from women.
Yeah, but men listen to women and not other men, and that's a real death spiral because what happens a lot of the time. You know what the number one question I get? They say, how come you and Tristan are so close? And I'm like, we're brothers. How could we not be close? Like, oh, but I'm not close with my brother. And when they say that, what they're truly saying is there's some pussy somewhere in the way. Because someone's wife, either mine or his, doesn't want me going out drinking with my brother all the time, doesn't want me out rolling around the streets, picking up girls with my brother, doesn't want me acting a fool with my brother. Because that's what women will do, right? If you start listening to her, your relationships with your boys are going to suffer to some degree. And that's a true death spiral because now you don't even have the advice. You don't have the support network. Even if your woman's acting crazy, you haven't got boys you can call anymore. Because they're probably, if you're a bitch like that, your boys are probably bitches like that. Now you're all just sitting around listening to your wives, hoping to meet up for a football game once a month and have 4 hours and have 3 beers before you got to get home. It's garbage, man. It's garbage. And that's, and men to a degree, we've evolved to want to be around other men in gangs, armies, whatever you want to call it. We need that. A lot of power that you're going to have as an individual is going to come from your network, and women are going to try and destroy that. So you got to be careful. The first thing a woman's going to do, I'm telling you, happens all the time, man. I'm hanging around with a dude. He gets a chick. Chick's like, Tate's on all these podcasts talking about all these bitches. Oh, yeah. I don't want you hanging around with Tate no more. So he starts fucking only hanging around with her. Doesn't want to talk to me no more. Eventually she leaves him. Then he tries to call me again because he wants the bitches.
Yep.
Every fucking time. And it's crazy. So you want a close relationship with men in general, you're going to have to also keep your woman in check. You need to be able to say, look, my boys are going out tonight. So, and you're staying the fuck home.
Yep.
But otherwise, how are you going to be close with your boys? You can't do it. You can't do it.
You gotta, I hate to say it, but you gotta like tell a girl sometimes, shut the fuck up. I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't care what you think. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to lose girls sometimes, but it is what it is. You can't let women control your decision-making. You just can't do it.
You know how many girls tell me to my face, they're like, your podcast is misogynistic. Your friend's a bad influence on you. Leave him. I'm like, are you retarded? This is my brother right here. Man. Like, you're not going to stop us from doing our work. So it's just funny.
So I'll never forget this. First time I met Andrew in Las Vegas, and I went up to him and asked him, because I wanted to know myself, because I'd already met Tristan. I said, Andrew, what is it about your situation that allows you to live the way that you live. And he looked me dead in the eye and he said, Tristan. And that goes back to a point I make on a lot of my YouTube videos. There's no such thing as a female pallbearer. So fellas, you got to remember that. There's no such thing as a female pallbearer. Those women are going to come and go. You think she loves you? She loves you until she doesn't.
Facts.
Now, where's your boys? So if you're gonna, I believe that if you think you have any more than just a handful of friends, you might not have any friends at all.
Correct.
So remember, there's gonna be about 4 dudes carrying me out of this world, right? And those girls, bitches come and go. Every pimpin' no.
Yep.
And that's just what it is, man.
Yep.
Damn. Fire. Motion mark here, man.
All right, I'll read these real quick. I hope y'all are enjoying the goddamn show. Like the fucking video, because there's over 8,000 you guys in here between all the platforms. Okay, so we got Motion Mark, $500 super chat. Thank you so much. This is exactly what kind of content men need in America. Great work. Shout out to Tate. And we're definitely going to talk about the state of the United States here in a second, guys, in the West in general. You know what I'm saying? We got a bunch of guys here that are very well traveled from different parts of the world and been in different parts of the country as well. So we'll definitely talk about that. Where we at, Chris? Thank you guys so much, man. We appreciate it. Okay, finally, the microphones are enjoying high quality conversation from all the gentlemen. Myra probably will retain some here this week with no H virus. Shout out from Oman, Nasser El Busadi. Thank you so much, bro. Adam Nazar, $50 from Canada. I relate to what Tate said about competing for one woman. Been there, done that. When she said that she adored having 2 guys compete for her, that's when I knew I was doing something wrong. Absolutely, bro.
Imagine the ego trip. You're some basic bitch. These 2 dudes they're supposed to be friends and they're competing with each other for you. Imagine the ego trip. You think she's gonna get on such a high horse, you're never gonna reach her ass. Like what the fuck are you doing? It's like, oh man, I'll just walk off half this.
I'm just gonna say this, and this does not reflect anyone on the panel, but I already know I'm gonna get hit with the fucking misogyny. I'm just gonna say it. The reason why women are incapable of respecting men that put them on a pedestal is because most women know they're not shit anyway. I'm gonna say that again. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Call me a misogynist, an asshole, toxic, whatever. Hit me with the fucking. How dare you? But I'm gonna say it anyway. Most women are incapable of respecting you when you put them on a pedestal because they know they're not fucking shit, guys. Remember this. Women know on a deep intrinsic level that their value is given to them at birth. They don't have to create anything. So when your dumbass goes in there, oh, I'll do all this stupid shit for you. I'll do monkey double back. I'll jump around like a monkey, chimpanzee. You know what I'm saying? All this other dumb shit. For a girl, she can't respect you because she knows that she needs a man that is better than herself because she was born with her value.
Exactly.
Okay? So when you sit there and pedestalize women, you're shooting yourself in the foot, guys. You need to let women know, whether it's preferably through your actions and the way that you operate, that you are better than her, because women are designed to look up, never down. And despite the fact that they say, I just want an equal, that is fucking stop the cap. They want a superior. They don't want an equal. So you need to act like a superior, and you need to let her know through your actions, bitch, I'm better than you.
I'll elaborate on that as well,
Please,
Lauren. It's like if a woman sleeps with you, somewhere back here, even maybe if it's not consciously, but at least subconsciously, she's acknowledged that you are better than her. You are higher value than her. And after you fucked her, it's only you that can convince her otherwise.
Right.
By being by being a fucking simp, by putting her on a goddamn pedestal, like, because she thought you were this G, and like, oh, that's why I parted my legs for the guy.
There's no such thing as a pity fuck.
Right. Now, and you
dead serious. There's no such thing as a pity fuck.
I like that.
That's a fact.
And there's 2 other points to that. The first one is that most women with any kind of history, what will happen if you pedestalize them is they're going to sit there and go, well, this guy's acting like he's Mr. Successful or whatever, but that other dude from my past wasn't shit, and he didn't treat me this good. So maybe this guy's got a small dick or something. Why is he being so nice to me when that other dude didn't even have a car?
Damn.
And he spoke to me like shit. Do you understand? So something goes off in their brain that bothers them a little bit. And that's a big point. Another thing is when we say this, I don't want anyone to be autistic about it and start saying you can't be nice to girls on any level. Because when we say don't pedestalize them, that means we don't tolerate crap. I'm a very nice man, but I'm nice conditionally. Oh, I told your ass not to go out. You don't go out. I told you to stop hanging around with them girls. You stopped hanging around with them girls. I told you to keep my house clean. You kept my house clean. Cool. Let's go for dinner. I'm going to look after you. Like, you got to put conditions on your niceness.
There you go.
Because then if you do that, then you're not seen as a simp in any way, right?
Thank you,
she
Andrew.
was behaving, so I acted in a certain way. It's transactional because we're men. You're doing your job, and I'm going to treat you nicely. When you pedestalize them, it means I'm going to treat you nicely when you're not doing your job.
Bam.
And that's the problem. And then she's going to compare you to that fucking guy from her past who was banging her and her best friend and had fucking syphilis.
I was broke.
Yeah, and he was broke. And you just say, well, this guy must have some hidden defect. Even if I can't see it yet, they're going to start thinking about it.
I wanna
all the
add
time,
this too.
good behavior, bad behavior.
Yes, like, you know, we
Rewarding.
on this side of the internet, we tend to be punish bad behavior. Yeah, stupid 304s, blah, blah, blah. But you guys got to understand that when a woman gives you desirable behavior, you need to reward that.
Got to.
We're not telling you here on the panel, guys, to treat women poorly. No, we're just telling you women have to earn you being nice to them. They have to earn your chivalry, the nice dates, etc., and the experiences with you. And when you positively reward good behavior, guess what's going to happen? Oh, I attribute this nice date, this nice behavior to me being a good girl. I'm going to continue to be a good girl. Or if she fucks up, like Andrew just said, okay, well, now you're not going to get any more attention, whatever it is. Retract the attention when she fucks up. That's how you punish the bad behavior, because we tend to talk about that a lot here too. But guys, you can't be running around like, oh, I'm an alpha. Fuck you, bitch. I'm never going to treat you well. Nah, you're going to lose chicks doing that dumb shit. It's got to be a nice balance. You know what I'm saying?
There's going to be 100 guys in the
Speaking of
chat
balance.
right now, or 100 guys in the comments right now who are going to say,
Speaking
like,
of chat,
sorry, oh, go
we
ahead.
got Tristan in the house.
Tristan goes $100. Wish I was there, gentlemen. See you all soon, and that's in British pounds. So shout out to Tristan. Man, we need to get you over here man, next week, but he's working right now. We know.
Yeah, same.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's Tristan. Yeah, it's him. And then, sorry, Rollo.
I
you
was
were
just going to
saying
say,
something,
there's going to be 100 guys in the comments
Yeah,
and the
please.
chats right now who are going to say, well, you can't out alpha the state, man. She's going to have the cops there, and the authority is always in her favor. And while that might be true for guys who lose that frame, here I am 25 years later, right? People say, oh, well, don't you know that she can take you to the cleaners anytime you want? Yeah, I do. And here we are.
Yeah,
And
correct.
here we are.
Correct. And that ties in again perfectly with what I was saying earlier. So I've had it in my past, a few experiences where girls have threatened to call the cops on me over some dumb shit or whatever. And I'm like, look, I didn't think you were one of them girls, them ratchet ass call the cop. If you're one of them chicks, then call them. No problem. I thought you were better than that. I thought you were an adult. If you want to start talking, calling the cops. I don't like women who act that way. I think women who are feminine, they stick by their man. They're not traitors. Like if you're going to be a traitor and start calling the cops and stuff, I live a delicate life. I don't want you knowing a lot about what I'm doing, how I'm making money. If you want to act that way, then we can't be very close. And they'll drop that shit fucking instantly, right? You have to put the condition on them. You can do the dumb shit, but it's going to change how I view you. And that's what they're most scared of if they respect you.
Yeah.
I just want
That's why Rollo's wife respects him so much. Why would she fuck with the guy she loves? Why would she act a dickhead and lose her respect, which is the most important thing in the world of her most important man in the world?
But
Why would she act stupid?
She's
You see-
Rollo's biggest fan, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Andrew, you
She
see
admires
what Andrew's doing? He's putting doubt and kind of like reverse psychology, saying basically, you know what? I didn't think you're that kind of person. And I says, you know what? Damn, it's my choice to make a good choice now to keep Andrew or not keep Andrew.
And also women, you have to understand, because a lot of the guys out here who are baiting are not experienced with women, think women are all this confident, all this shit. Even on the Fresh and Fit, the ones who are sitting next to me saying the most shit about fucking dudes, all this stuff, they are desperately insecure. Females are desperately insecure on every level. So when you question them with things like that, they start to actually think, well, am I a hoe? Am I a good girl? And you can just be very, very clear about it. Like I make, whenever I do it, it's a very calm thing. I almost act surprised. Oh, I thought you were cool. Oh, but you're not cool. Okay. All right. Well, I've learned something. Okay. Yeah. Call them. No problem.
Yeah, for all the younger guys watching like this show, especially your late night show, where you see these girls saying the most outrageously stupid things, and you wonder, like, how the hell can that woman be so sure of herself? I'll tell you how she can be so sure of herself, because no motherfucker has ever told her she's wrong. You got all these dudes out here fucking groveling at her feet, telling yes, agreeing with every fucking stupid word that comes out of her mouth. So of course she thinks that everything she says is truth. Because no, you've never had someone like Andrew come along and be like, that ain't fucking truth, bitch. Like you're completely lying.
Yeah.
And but I agree completely. If a girl's taking too many dicks, you definitely can't turn a hoe into a housewife. But sometimes there's like a weird level where you can meet a girl who's young, she's like 20, and she's only been on the bad path for like 6 to 7 months, and she's hanging around with these new hoes she met in college, and you can sit down with her and say, look,
Training.
You can train her. You can sit down and say, look, the lifestyle you're living, I know it's fun, but I'm 35 years old. I've been around the block. I'm a little bit older. It's much easier for an older guy. I know the lifestyle you're living is fun, but I hope you understand that a lot of men may be attracted to you, but men aren't going to respect you if you act that way. And you can act another way and get the respect of men. Me personally, I'm at a point in my life, if I'm going to be with a woman, it's probably going to be for a very long time. I want to have a family, I want to have kids.
Bam.
I don't like women who act that way because I'm not the kind of woman I could trust. And I think trust is really important in a relationship. Yeah, trust is really important. You're right. Don't you understand why I wouldn't want the girl who I care about hang around all these dudes? Oh, but they're just my friends. Yeah, but they still want to bang you.
Right.
And then I'll say, look, I know my Lamborghini's got secure locks, but I'm not going to let people try and break in.
Yeah.
If I see someone trying to break in, I'm going to have to hurt them. So it doesn't matter how secure your lock is. It doesn't matter how much you don't want them back. I find it disrespectful for them to be all over you. I'm not jealous. I'm territorial. And I enjoy having something that's only mine. And if you're going to act in that way, I'm not going to take you seriously. If you want to just mess about, then sure, yeah, we'll go on a few dates. We can do what we do. But if you want us to be a serious thing, I'm not going to tolerate that kind of behavior.
See, Andrew,
To be like a teacher on the bitch.
And if he's not territorial, does he love her? If he's not
Absolutely.
territorial, if I'm not territorial over you, do I love you? And another thing that he's doing, if you notice, he's mentoring her
yes,
more than he's yelling at
say
her.
that.
And that's very, very, very important distinction between yelling at a woman and showing emotion and being the mountain that her emotional waves crash into.
Right.
Because that she can respect
Yeah,
and she can sit down. He's saying, I set her down and had a conversation,
Absolutely.
which is completely different than yelling or showing emotion like a pussy.
Yeah.
Because then she can't respect you.
Andrew's reprogramming all the bad behavior
Yep.
over a period of time just by talking and being smooth. He's not showing her saying, "Oh, you're a dumb behold," whatever. He's like, you know what? Here's what it is. You decide for yourself.
Yeah,
And
Controlled.
you're using a woman's
Controlled.
insecurity in your favor, because I got to double down on what Andrew said as far as like women are very insecure. What I need you guys to understand is that these bad bitches with the Botox in their lips and the surgeries with the BBLs, etc., it takes a certain level of insecurity to go under the knife to improve your looks to that degree instead of going to the fucking gym and working out. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So you already know that you're dealing with an unstable creature emotionally, an unstable creature from a security standpoint as far as like their confidence, etc. So you need to take that, harness that insecurity, and use it to your benefit. And I know that sounds horrible, but real talk, all you're doing is what women do anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're taking the stupidity, you're using that energy, and you're harnessing it back and making women feel guilty about their bad decisions rather than yelling at them, because what they want you to do is, you stupid bitch, I'm fucking done with you.
Yep.
Ba-da-da.
Yep.
So they can write you off and be like, this nigga crazy, and leave and rationalize their bad behavior. But if you tell them, damn, I'm disappointed.
Yep.
That's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
That's
that
gonna hurt.
stings.
I genuinely did not take you to be that kind of girl. Wow. Wow. Okay. No problem. We'll have fun with your ladies or whatever. And then she knows if she goes out with those girls, I might, of course, from your other prior behaviors as well, because she knows what type of guy you are. She'll be like, damn, if I go out with these girls, I'm going to lose him.
Yep.
And then that's what she's going to have that serious thought. You can never show emotion and let her, and like, because she wants you to flip out and say, you stupid bitch or whatever, so that she can feel better in her head. Women are amazing at hamstering out rationalizations for their poor behaviors. You can't give her the ammo to do it.
100%. Let me tell you some. Let me
Please.
tell you some apex. We're gonna talk dark triad shit. Let me tell you some dark triad shit.
Hey, like the video,
There we
by the way,
go.
motherfuckers.
Like the video,
You guys
man.
this goddamn game. Y'all
Oh,
getting a lot of
David
sauce.
Buss, listen up.
Sub to the
Do you,
channel.
do you know what girls are more scared of than losing a man they like? They're more scared of having the man they like, but he doesn't like her anymore. So what will happen if I put a girl in those kind of scenarios and she doesn't act right or doesn't make the right choice? What I will do, instead of actually getting rid of her, I'll keep fucking her, but I'll fuck her different. So instead of, there's no kissing anymore. You understand? You understand?
He's not
You
doing that thing anymore.
She's gonna feel it different.
Yeah.
And afterwards, she's gonna be like, you don't love me anymore, do you?
You've threatened
Where's this going?
You've threatened intimacy.
Yeah.
You
I-
have threatened
now-
intimacy.
and she's gonna get, it's no longer intimate on any level. She got fucked. And then afterwards, she'll be like trying to give me a hug. I'll be like, oh, wait, I gotta go out. And I'm gonna change on such a small level that will hurt her more than even losing you. The reason guys can't do that is because if they fuck a bitch again, they fall back in love like a pussy. I won't do that. But there's been scenarios where a girl hasn't acted quite right over something small, not a big transgression like cheating. Then I continue to see her, but my demeanor towards her changed. And my demeanor towards her didn't change much in day-to-day life, right? But it changed when we had sex. And she smelt it and she could feel it. And it hurt her bad. And she got her ass in line fast. He used to kiss me. He used to hug me afterwards. These small things. You go from all that nice shit to just fucking her like she's, but not in a good way like she's nothing. In a bad way like she's nothing. The real G's know what I'm saying here. There's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
And you'll speak to this about, it's because in that moment you have her in her most vulnerable place.
That's right. That's right.
there. She's in her most
That's
vulnerable place.
women are most programmable because all women are programmed, and I want to say this. Maybe I'll be a misogynist now.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. I said this in another podcast. I believe that men are more capable of independent thought because I believe that men are more evolved for battle and war. So if we had an idea which nobody else agreed with, we're more capable of defending it. We've evolved to saying, no, the sky's blue, it's not green. Okay, pull a sword out. We'll defend our idea. Women don't have the capability to defend themselves or their ideas. So they're going to go along with an idea they heard from somebody else in general, right? So all women are programmed. Women are programmed. They're either programmed by society as a whole, or if they're with a good man, they're programmed by the good man. That's basically where the programming comes from as a whole. So all women are programmed on some level. And I think with especially during sex, that's when women are most programmable because they're most vulnerable. Like, if you get a bitch and she's just about to come and you start saying in her face, I'm going to cheat on you, you fucking slut. And she comes while you say you're going to cheat. She's going to end up getting horny next time you cheat. I know it sounds crazy. I know everyone's going to look at me and go, Tate's talking shit.
Nah, you're
but
right,
I'm
bro.
telling you,
That's
it's fucking true.
Operant conditioning.
Tate's talking facts.
It's true.
He's talking straight facts.
It's true. And especially sex as a man is a weapon you need to use. You have to deny it. You have to give it. You got to give it good.
Yep.
You got to give it bad. You got to use it right. And when I say there's ways you can fuck her like she doesn't mean anything in a way that she enjoys, and ways you can fuck her like she doesn't mean anything in a way she doesn't enjoy. The G's of the game know exactly what I'm talking about.
Dick, bro.
And you could do that gradually over time. If she ain't acting right, you can change the way you fuck a bitch to make her start to get insecure about he doesn't actually care. He doesn't actually like me. And that will shock them. You have moves you can make, but you gotta be perspicacious. You gotta pick up on her attention and you gotta act accordingly. And that's some dark triad shit. But I'll tell you, before I fuck a bitch, literally I'm laying there going, giving a full status report of her last few weeks. I'm loading up the Excel in my head. Was the house clean? Was this done? All right, okay, I'll give her this version. All right, bitch. You gotta be ready for it.
Andrew, just after that as well, you know what I do, bro? If I wanted to like change the optics a little bit too, instead of coming, I won't come. I'll hold back. And she's like, wait, what's wrong? I'm not feeling it today.
I'm good.
I'll just move on like normal. She's fucked. She's like, wait, you're not coming anymore?
Yeah.
Am I not good enough?
Yeah.
That's when you get
another
her.
one.
I want to add this little thing to the guys.
Exactly.
I need the men that are watching right now. I need you guys to understand. I know you guys, this is all crazy concepts. Don't pedestalize women, etc. I'm going to take it a step further. You guys need to know that women can only be happy if they're serving a man. I'm going to say that again. I don't go fuck with nobody says, hit me with the goddamn.
How dare you?
Women are creatures that can only be happy if they're serving a man that they love, admire, and respect. This is why these career women that are single with cats and dogs are never fucking happy. Women don't derive the same pleasure from success that men do. And they think they can, then they end up in a career, 35 years old, no kids, etc. on fucking Xanax. 1 in 4 women in the United States run around on some kind of goddamn antidepressant medication, okay? And that's a fact. And the least happy demographic of woman we know is between around 42 years old, childless, not married, okay? Women's pleasure comes from your fucking pleasure, guys.
Rollo, why is that? Because I agree 1,000%. But you know what Rollo's amazing for? Because like
he has the numbers.
He has the numbers. He's the numbers guy. You know why? You know it's all true and why it happens. But he can come in with the bones and the grit.
Right,
Like,
well-
boom. Here's why. Pop, 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 pop.
Well, first of all, 50 Shades of Grey. Let's just start there. I mean, we can use that's the conversation stopper right there immediately. So that's number one. Number two is this. I like what you were saying before. Women are the vulnerable sex. They have a higher investment cost when it comes to reproduction. It takes them long. It takes 9 months. They got to pick the right guy. And even if they pick the wrong guy, that could be the life or death situation. If they pick the right guy, it can still be a life or death situation if that guy changes. So they have a much higher investment cost. They are vulnerable for a much longer period of time when we're talking about evolutionary, our ancestral past. So, and I know that, guys like Dr. David Buss and Jordan Peterson will say the same thing. What they don't want to say is they are the vulnerable sex. And that is an intrinsic part, I think, of women's neural wiring, right? So that's number one. Number two is this. You also talked about the emotional side versus the rational side. Like men tend to lead with rationality. Women tend to lead with emotionality. So if we're looking at, this is the triune mind theory. Go ahead and look it up on Google, guys. It's instinct, emotion, and then reason. Those are the processes that a human being uses to interpret its surroundings through your senses, through your sight, sound, whatever. So if it's outside external stimuli, it's information and how do I process that? So instinct is the easiest one. If I took these and I throw them at you, you would instinctively dodge out of the way, right? Because that's part of your operating system that you came out of the womb with, right? It's your OS.
Reptile brain.
Right. Okay. So that's how you process the most immediate stimuli in and it's very, very fast, right? It has to be because it's a life or death. It's a survival instinct. Okay. That's why I call it instincts. Then you have emotion, and emotion is how do we feel about what it is that we're seeing. The baby, we have to pair bond with the baby. We have usually pair bond with a man if he got you off with oxytocin. We talked about that the other day. There is an emotional response that comes that is after instinct, but it's also interpreting your surroundings and your environment as well. But that's pretty fast. So we can make a man very angry very quickly. Men tend to default to anger. Women tend to cry, as we were saying before. There's an emotional response because women are the vulnerable sex. Men are the stronger, more let's just say the durable sex at this point. And then there's rationality. And rationality is where all your gray matter is. And that is the slowest of those processes because you have to learn how to react to things. And for men, when our evolutionary firmware goes something like this: instinct, reason, and then emotion. And then for women, it's instinct, emotion, and then reason. And that's the natural proclivity that human beings, male and female, have. Now, people are going to say, well, I know lots of emotional men, man. I'm very emotional, yada, yada. Yeah, because you're a product of the 20th century and the 21st century right now. And you've been taught through reason to prioritize emotion first. That's why you get in touch with your feminine side. That's why you get express your emotions. That's how you get be more feminine. As we talk about this, we'll probably get into it here in just a minute. How we live in this new society of more feminized soy boys and manginas, I think is what we used to call them back in the day, right?
Yep.
But really, what is that? It's men being taught to prioritize emotion before reason. And we can teach through reason and rationality. You can teach a human being to go against his instincts. You can teach a human being to go on hunger strike. You can teach a human being to turn into the skid when all of your instincts say slam on the brakes, and you'll spin the car because you want to basically just stop the car. You can teach that martial arts. You have to teach a human being to put his face in front of a fist because he has to be trained enough with a muscle memory so that he can defend himself because he learned that. But your instinct is conflict avoidance. I'm going to get the hell out of here, fight or flight. So when he's talking about the how women end up leading with emotion, unfortunately, in today's society, in our gynocentric society, that's what we do and what we've taught generations of boys for a very long time.
Facts.
But now where women are going, well, where are the men? Where men need to man up. But we've told them over the last really 50, 60 years to man down.
Yep.
And so as a result, we have conditioned men and have used reason and rationality to prioritize emotion for men. And that's how you get a generation of emotionalized men, which is where we're at right now. And then when they see someone like him or they see someone like him and they go, I could never be that. Yeah, because you've been conditioned to think that you could never be that because you're going against your natural innate proclivities. So when he says you can train a bitch, you can go dark triad on her. Right when she's about to come, I'm going to tell her, look, I'm going to fuck other chicks, right? Yeah, that works because women prioritize emotion before reason. If she was in a rational, reasonable state of mind, which is right there, that probably wouldn't stick because women are looking for that emotional connection. And if Owen Cook were here, he'd tell you the same thing. Good pickup, good interaction with women is always leaving an emotional association with that woman. Whether it's positive or it's negative is immaterial. Yeah. She has to associate an emotion and a feeling with you. Now, if you're a smart ass and you know what you're fucking doing, you can actually program the girl to it's really more, I would say program, it's like operant conditioning. That's a behavioral psychology reference right there. But you can condition behavior just as you can condition men to be more emotional. You can condition women for desired behavior.
I'll add on to what Tate was talking about there as well.
There you go.
Well said. Well said.
I got the button for that.
Boom.
Go ahead, Sterling.
Part of the reason why what Andrew's talking about really works.
The champ is here.
Is women. Okay, when a woman can't climax during sex, it's usually because she's in her head. She's in her rational mind. She's thinking about some bullshit, right?
Self-conscious.
She's self-conscious. When you fuck bitch, right?
Mhm.
You fuck the consciousness out of her. You literally do. So she's in this like. So she's only
She's dick drunk. Is that what you're
she's
saying?
dick drunk. She's dick drunk. So she's in her subconscious mind, which is why when he says something to her while she's in that state, it slips right in here. It slips into her subconscious. It becomes a program. That's why that works.
Yeah, there's so
some
many
deep shit.
things you can say. Like I mean, the problem is, you know what? Sometimes I say things, and I always think there's gonna be some autist out there who's gonna try it and it ain't gonna work. Listen, I'm smooth as fuck. So if I say it and you think,
Mark that.
yeah, if I say it and you guys go, oh, that wouldn't work, that's because you ain't me.
Bam.
But if I fuck a bitch and I say you're mine forever, if I
Which is a
say,
good
well, if I tell her she's mine forever in her ear while she's coming, she starts to believe she's mine forever.
Yeah.
How
You're
you
mine
say it?
forever, no matter what. Choke her so she can barely fucking breathe. Tell her she's yours forever.
How you say it
They're gonna
matters
believe
more.
it. You can program them. They are programmable beings. They're designed to be programmed. You just have to be a large enough force to program her. That's all you have to be a force in nature.
Because you have her in present time right there.
Right? That's the only
She's
time
more
she's paying
present right
attention.
there.
She's not on her phone.
She's not on her
She's not
phone.
watching fucking TV.
Mhm.
She's giving you 1,000% of her attention. And this is why you'll notice that women, when they're truly in love with a man, are far more horny than dudes because they don't want the sex. They want all your attention. They want you off your phone, not working, not with the boys. Man, the number of times I've had girls because they're in love with me, just like trying to have sex with me 6 times a day. I'm like, you just want a half an hour where I'm not focused on anything but you. That's what you actually want. There's no fucking way you want sex because your face is showing me it hurt last time. Like, what the fuck you talking about? They just want your attention, right? So yeah, absolutely. Sex is a really powerful weapon as a man, and you know what? Another thing is, we're talking about all these other things about how you have to have lots of girls and all this kind of stuff. Some of you dudes are fucking chicks needy, man. Man, you're fucking her and she's sitting there thinking, this dude,
Yeah,
he ain't
and you know what
fucking.
you're doing.
You know?
You know what's happening, what's happening when you're doing that. I think a lot of guys are going to get hung up on that, on what we're talking about. Oh, you got to program the girl, you got to condition the girl. I think that's like this horrible thing. Guess what? She's being conditioned anyways.
Oh yes,
Whatever you're doing
Yeah.
is conditioning. Whatever you're doing, whether you're in control or you're not in control, you're programming, you're conditioning, whatever euphemism you want to use. She's still learning how to interact with you and what you're about.
That's
amazing.
facts. That's
Why
facts.
not
That's fact.
give her what she wants anyway?
That's amazing.
And I
He's
wanna say
completely
this
right. If you're fucking her
real quick.
needy, you're programming her the wrong way. She's going to get programmed either way.
Yep.
You're plugging into
Social
the
media
computer.
does a real good job of programming.
And here's the
women.
other thing too, real quick. I want to let you guys all know. I said this earlier, right? Women need to make you happy for them to actually feel happy. They get the best happiness and the most pleasure from your pleasure as the guy. And I want to tell you guys why. It's actually much deeper than you guys think. So let's peel the layer back to write this shit down while Rollo and Tate were talking. Guys, the reason why women are happy for making you happy is because it does something very special. It ensures her personal security and, more importantly, the children's personal security. If she keeps you happy, you're going to stick around. You guys got to understand that it's only in modern day times that a woman can exist without the protection and provisioning of a man. Okay? We can sit here and all the independent ladies, strong ladies, blah, blah, blah. It's all fucking cap because women are still programmed to want to be with a man that's taller than them, makes more money than them, stronger than them, confident, etc. Survival value, whereas men are looking for replication value. Is she hot? Right? So when she makes you happy, in the back of her mind, she knows I'm going to keep this guy around. And if I keep this guy around, it ensures my personal safety, my personal security, and more importantly, because women have allegiance to only one thing, 2 things actually, their emotions and what? Their fucking children. You sticking around ensures the security for her children. So men, and it's here's the sad part. Men are easy to please. It's easy to keep a guy around, but most modern day women can't fucking do it. Okay? So I need you guys to understand this. If you're dealing with a woman, her pleasure is going to come from your fucking pleasure. If she likes you, you don't have to do much to get her to stick around. You just have to do the work outside so that when she deals with you, she's going to be doing most of the work for you inside to keep you around.
I want to add to that.
Please.
True.
That is why it's absolutely important to task your woman. If you do not task your woman, you are robbing the opportunity for her to feel like she is gaining position for you. And for that, because she wants position. So you have to task her to keep her fighting for that position. And you have to keep her busy.
Put it to work.
Yeah.
You have to.
You have to.
Idle hands.
Yeah. And that's what, and that is
Give her a Rubik's Cube.
and that is what
Get
she
your
wants.
Rubik's Cube out.
Just add to that. If you got a girl, right, that's in your rotation, whatever, or you want it to be in a part of your life, you don't put it to work, someone else will.
Oh yeah.
And
Damn right.
nowadays, let's think about it. They got employers, they got bosses, they got sugar daddies, and they also
OnlyFans.
got like other dudes trying to put them to work. So if you don't do it, someone else will. And very important regarding imprint. If you can imprint her with good dick, program her through telling her when she's about to come, certain things, and giving her, that feeling of enjoyment when you have sex with her, that's a big imprint. Because guess what? Most guys can't do that. But if you can, you win. Sterling, can you tell a little bit more about like getting into, bedroom fun?
Yeah, I mean, and, like one of the things that too many guys make the mistake of thinking sex is a reward for them. Sex is a reward for the woman.
100%.
I'm doing all the fucking work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just laying there orgasming. Like I'm sweating.
Starfish.
I'm putting all the fucking work. I mean, she might not be starfish, but I'm putting all the goddamn work in.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking a reward for her. It ain't a reward for me.
Yeah.
And when you have that mentality, like it's I don't know, maybe I'm a bit jaded because of what I've done for a job. But when you've had that mentality, it's like it's so easy to like be able to turn down sex from a woman if you're like and keep
powerful too.
Keep her guessing, use it as a powerful tool. But like too many guys, the biggest kind of block I see a lot of dudes have in the bedroom is like being dominant because they've been taught that they're worried about being like me too'd. Motherfucker, do you think I'm getting me too'd? Like I am doing all kinds of perverted shit in the bedroom. I am doing stuff that I should be in jail for. Like, and they're coming back for more. They're not like the kind of guy that a girl is gonna like me too is the dude who is too pussy to actually do the things she enjoys in the bedroom.
Right.
All this kind of
Or doesn't have force.
Yeah, he's
He's
leader,
inauthentic.
Yeah.
He's inauthentic. Like he's trying to please her. That's another big thing I teach guys is like I teach them a thing I call the selfish pervert frame of mind. So you want to kind of come rather than being this dude who's trying to just please her. I'm so desperate to please her. I need her to come. I'm so outcome dependent on her loving what I'm doing to her. Flip that shit on its head. Come at sex from this perspective of being this what I call the selfish pervert. So it's not just you're not just selfish in the fact that you're just busting a nut in 30 seconds, right? Because that's not really fantastic dick game. But it's like selfishness combined with like perversion. It's like she is the outlet for like she's your sexual muse. She's the outlet for your lust. And women love being the object of a man's lust.
Facts.
That appeases the female ego. You mentioned that when you don't come, that fucks with their head.
Yeah.
Because that is something they need. They need to be able to please a man, especially sexually.
That makes them
Validates
feel
their
beautiful.
primary- exactly.
Yeah,
It
makes them feel beautiful.
They
validates
feel beautiful.
their primary agency, which Rollo talks about all the time, is their sexuality. Your ejaculation validates that they have some kind of value, at least to you. But if you don't come, she knows, damn, I'm probably useless because I've always said it. If a girl doesn't have sex with you guys, she's essentially useless to you. You know what I'm saying? Kick her to the curb and go deal with someone else that can provide value.
And that also
Because-
goes to Andrew's play.
What was that?
What is an erection? Full attention.
Oh yeah.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
that's
Full
funny.
attention,
I
bro.
like that.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go back. Yo, guys, like the goddamn video. There's
Fire
over
episode.
8,000 of you guys in here. We've been giving a lot of game. We got 6.5K likes. Get us to 7,000, guys, so we
Yeah,
get that
come on,
engagement
guys.
up. So, because when you guys like the video gets spread. These guys get even more exposure. That's why we have them. These are our good friends, man.
Yep.
Subscribe to their channels. Follow them on Instagram. So like this goddamn video so this gets out to the masses. Because honestly, talk like this isn't allowed anymore.
At all.
Guys can't talk like this. You know what I'm saying? So, where are we at, Chris?
Just one.
All right, cool. Quick story. A girl used to work with paid for my ticket. A girl I used to work with paid for my tickets to Vegas and back. And also, she had a boyfriend too. A free trip is free. City boys, we have. Okay,
Hey,
Kid
there you
Drew.
go, brother.
Oh man.
All
All
right,
right. So, what's the next topic that you wanted
Cool.
to hit?
I
Talk
wanna do
about the
this.
West.
Actually, Andrew brought this up earlier. This is regarding what should all men do to prepare for the future and what's coming for
Yeah.
dating and for like just
Ooh,
survival.
This is good.
I'm about to get pessimistic.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah, I'm
Get your
about to
notepads ready and like the goddamn
Let's
video.
get
It's
it.
about to drop some goddamn sauce right now, man.
about to
Guys,
I'm about
this
to
will
get-
change your life literally. Guys, this talk right here will change your whole dynamic of what you think life is and what it really is. So go ahead.
Notepads out.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm about to get a little bit pessimistic. And when I say pessimistic, I don't mean in a way that we can't win, but you
Yeah.
need to identify threats, right? You're not gonna be able to stop the punch you don't see coming. And you need to understand that the world you live in as a man, in my personal view, has been very purposefully constructed. And it's been constructed in a way to destroy your masculine power and support networks. It's not a coincidence that the things that are on TV are on TV. It's not a coincidence that the laws in regards to men and women are the laws in regards to men and women. It's not a coincidence that men are taught the things they're taught about how they should act, about how they should be, etc. What they are trying to do is destroy your ability to be sovereign and be true to your instinct-based nature as a man. And I'm telling you, this is something that's happening right now in real time. The reason they are doing this is because revolutions are nothing more than groups of men in one place. That's all revolutions have ever been. And as they get more authoritarian and tyrannical, as they start making more and more ridiculous demands of the common man, as they start destroying more and more livelihoods, the last thing they want are brave, strong men who are going to stand up and say no. They want men who are afraid of their wives, stuck at home, paying taxes with kids who don't respect them, who can't get a divorce because they'll lose the house. That's what they want. They want slaves. They're trying to turn men into slaves. That's all you're good for now. Your workhorses, your slaves. And the future of the world, especially in the West, is a further encroachment on your sovereign ability, your sovereign thoughts, your base instincts, the things that make you happy. Absolutely nobody is concerned with male happiness on any level. They don't want you to be happy. They want you to be miserable, a miserable slave in a tax bracket. And you have to understand this. So when you look around you, you have to understand all the things you learned in university, all the shows on TV, when you watch that Friends episode and Joey's making those stupid jokes, all this crap, all of it is very, very purposeful. And the only way you can combat against it is to take significant action. You have to take significant action. We mentioned earlier, you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I believe in the world we now live in, things like Fresh and Fit are fantastic. You have Fresh, you have Fit, you have Rollo, you have Waller, you have Stirling. You have guys here from all around the world, far spread out in one place giving game to the guys, because you'll notice if you're a man of any kind of stature in the world today, you're not going to meet anybody on your level in day-to-day life. Everybody's still inside of the matrix. You have to use the internet. It's the tool they're using. The internet is the tool they're using to brainwash the masses. You need to combat it and use their own tool against them to seek out the kind of information, knowledge, and friends that you need to have around you. You are going to be the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So that if everyone understands that, as an intelligent person, you're going to be extremely careful and you're going to curate heavily the 5 people you hang around with. If you're a dumbass, you're not going to think about it. So in regards to the future, what's exactly going to happen? Well, these last 2 years have been pretty crazy. Did anyone see that coming? I don't think they did. I think we're just at the beginning. I think it's the tip of the iceberg. I think it's going to get worse and worse. And you know who's going to take the brunt of all the crap, no matter how bad the world gets? The men. Because no matter how bad the world gets, a sexy bitch is always going to have the best possible experience because she's a sexy bitch. That's life. The men are going to take all the shit. We always are. So you need to be aware of what's happening around you, and you need to create for yourself a social network of people who understand that and are doing their best to combat that. And that's why things like the War Room exist. That's why things like Fresh and Fit exist. This is more than just entertainment, gentlemen. This is extremely important, what's happening here. Because if you're just going to ignore the internet and ignore its power as a networking tool and just try and make friends in your day-to-day life, you're going to end up making friends with a bunch of simps, bunch of pussies. And we spent the last 2 hours talking about how that's going to destroy your life.
Bam.
Fantastic,
Sheesh.
man. Woo.
Talking about like what can you do to, like, you know, prepare for the future? Become competent. You ain't got time, gentlemen, to sit around on your ass waiting for tomorrow, procrastinating, putting it off, fucking playing video games all goddamn day, sitting home watching Netflix all goddamn day. You ain't got time.
Yeah,
Shit's
time.
about to get fucking real. You need to develop competency in all aspects of your life. But like I mentioned before, the buckets, right? Women, fitness, health, right? Competency, wealth. You need to build that shit. You ain't got time. I'm like doing okay. And I'm like, I ain't got enough. I need to fucking put my foot on the goddamn pedal every day. So if I'm kind of panicking,
Yeah, a lot of you guys should
everybody
Imagine
watching
everyone
Should
else
should
panic too.
Yeah.
I don't mean panic in a bad way. Like, stay up, like, you know, have a bit of optimism, but like, have faith that like putting in the fucking work is gonna pay off. But you need to put the goddamn work.
I think what's going to happen in the future, I remember in our first ever Fresh and Fit, I said there's going to be have-nots and have-yachts.
Yes. Yacht party. Hey.
And there's going to be have-thoughts and have-nots. Because the world's going to get more and more polarized. That's what's going to happen. That's the natural
already
state
there.
of the world. And the people who are winning are going to win more than ever, and the people who are losing are going to lose more than ever. And the truth is, man, there's a bunch of you watching this, and most of you can't be dragged up the mountain. You just haven't got it inside of you. But the men watching this with a fire inside of them, you know what you need to do. You need to find a network, provide value, receive value, and you need to get your own kind of social structure that can resist the programming of the Matrix. There's no such thing as Rambo. This whole idea you can do it all by yourself, Rambo, that it's not real. The most powerful people in the world have powerful friends to call. Right. And you need to get yourself in those circles.
Organizing is essential, I think. I've been asked this question several times. I wrote about this in my fourth book, and I made this observation back in like 1450 or something like that, when we had the printing press, the movable type printing press. What that did is revolutionize our distribution of information. Bam. So we were able to, of course, what the first thing we do, we print the Bible. So every lay person can have a copy of the Bible now, and that's how you get the Catholics against the Protestants, and that started wars and everything else. But it also spread other kinds of information. And once we got to industrialization, now we can do it on an industrial scale, and people got literacy rates went up, and essentially that one invention changed the world. And what I made, the case I made in Religion, my fourth book, is that the internet is the same thing as all this Gutenberg press, right? Only now we have access to information at a scale that has never in human history been what it is. So we have got social, we talk about OnlyFans, we talk about, you are on YouTube right now, as I was mentioning before. In no other period in time could all of this happen, for sure. But like, I mean, as far as like writing blogs or getting access to information, I was able to cite sources in my books as a result of having access to that information that would have in previous eras meant I would have to spend hours and hours in encyclopedias and books and libraries and everything else, and be a specialist in all of those fields. And so when people ask me like, what's the red pill about? Give me the elevator pitch of the red pill. I can't do that, because it's not just about fucking girls. It's not just about, game. It's not just about, intersexual dynamics. It scales up from the micro to the macro. So we go from how do I get laid all the way up to why isn't Hillary Clinton the president of the United States right now? So we can look at the intersectional dynamics between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, or why we're in the mess we're in right now. Why is it that Janet Yellen is the head of the Fed right now and not a man, right? So we can have those conversations, but we don't get that unless I have access to the information and I can see what the history and the stats. And we always do our stat shows, and we did the grape show. Yep. And we were able to do that because we had access to information. Yep. Now, that information is the fire from Prometheus. You can use that information to burn your house down and burn your neighbor's house down, or you can use it to heat your food and warm your house. So how are you going to use that? And I think right now, this is not a red pill, blue pill thing. This is an information thing. So I would right before I came out here, there's a guy, his name's Stardust. He's one of these guys who's in the MGTOW black pill communities, and talking about how the red pill is unhealthy for most guys. And I want to point this out because it's kind of pertinent to what we're talking about here. Is they'll hear me, they'll hear these guys, they'll go, oh, just like, remember the first show we did? Yep. Justin was like, oh, well, he's 6'4" and he's jacked and he's juicy and he makes a lot of money and he's like, a steel mogul or whatever. And you look at this guy in his Lamborghinis and you look at all the money he's making, and you look at this guy fucking chicks every other weekend on Pornhub or whatever, and you look at that and you go, I could never be that. I could never be that. I could never do that. That's just not me. And so they think that because we have that access to that information, because we have that imagery, that those guys get nihilistic and they get suicidal and they get despondent and they don't know what to do with themselves. And therefore, it's a danger. That information that they're getting is dangerous to them.
I'll really quickly. The reason why we're the people we are is because we have access to that information. He wouldn't be able to build steel buildings the way he does now if he didn't have the internet. I sure as hell would not have gotten to the position I'm in if I didn't have access to the internet to learn things I needed to learn. You don't have any excuse today. Exactly.
We have more access to information than at any other period in time, but everyone is 3 times, 10 times as lazy as they've ever been, even though you have access to mastery in so many different areas. Yeah. But it comes down to one question. Would you rather be happy or would you rather be right? Because is ignorance bliss? Or is having that information and understanding things, is that going to help you improve your lives? Well, you can use, as I said, you can use that information to burn down your house, or you can use it to heat your house, depending on how you do it. And it's not me making it like everyone sitting at this table, we're all grifters. Everyone on this table, we're all grifters.
It's all scammers.
Exactly. We're all, because we have some sort of product. We are making money right now on super chats and everything else. What's the difference? Hotep Jesus said this. The difference between a grifter and a good grifter is the guy who, what are you giving back? How are you improving other people's lives? How are you helping them keep the noose off their neck and the gun out of their mouth? How are you doing it? What are you giving back in return? If all you're doing is take, or you just got into it because it seemed like a good, niche for you to get into, that's one thing. It's another thing is if you got guys who actually give a shit about you and want to see you succeed, and not everybody's going to do that, then that's the quantifiable, qualifiable difference between like a grifter and a guy who actually has some fucking ethics behind what he's doing. On top of that, you're not going to save them all. You're not going to save them all. There will be casualties. So the thing is are we better off having this knowledge and having access to this information? Because sometimes that comes at the cost of our happiness, and we can stay in these little bubbles and this old order way of thinking that made us very happy. When we're talking about like Friends or anything right up until maybe the year 2000, right? We had guys who were watching Everyone Loves Raymond, the Cosby Show, you're watching Friends and everything else, and we can't go back and look at those in the same light anymore because we have the red pill lens on and we go, oh my God, Mrs. Doubtfire was actually a horror movie. It wasn't a comedy movie. I mean, if you look at the script and the plot to it, but we didn't know that then because we didn't have access to the information. We didn't have any knowledge of this stuff. And so here's the thing. It's not me that's going to red pill the world. It's not anybody at this table that's going to red pill the world. Take us all away right now. And guess what? People still have access to the information. They're still unplugging themselves from the matrix, and you better bet damn well do it soon. And even if you're not, you're still plugged in and you're still happy, but you're ignorant of what's going on. And so therefore that makes you manipulatable, and that, would you rather be plugged in or not plugged in?
It'll bite you. And as the world gets more femme-centric, as the world gets more female, men are going to become less and less happy. And the easiest answer to that is, because Rollo nailed it, we can't save them all, right? The idea that we're going to have this mass revolution and change the ethics of the world and put men in charge again is garbage. It's not going to happen. But what you need to do is build a life for yourself that's very masculine led. So I live with men. My best friends are men. They're all successful. I live a very masculine, self-led life. The reason we can't save everybody is because if you want to exist in an environment of quality men, they're competitive, and that means you need to be competitive. You can't be a nobody. You have to find a network of men. You have to plug in, and you have to provide value, because we're not charity. Men aren't charitable, right? If you can't provide any value to high value men, then you're not going to get value from them.
And the genie is out of the bottle. You're not going to be able, you can't put the information genie back in the bottle right now. So even if you're like a black pill doomer and you're very nihilistic at this stage, it's not because anybody at this table or my books or his website or whatever. That's not the reason. The reason is you have access to information. You will see it every single day on Twitter, on Instagram, name the media source, and you will see it right there in your face. It's not us that are like corrupting and radicalizing these guys. They'll do it themselves. Would you not rather have somebody there as a good guide? We talk about the Lost Boys generation, and we say they're looking for the dad they never had. Guess what? Everybody at this table is a teacher in some way, because they're not getting it in the colleges now, because obviously we see the college enrollment rate for men is dropping precipitously, let's just say. But they're looking for the dad they never had. They're looking for the conventional masculinity, the guy that they're being unplugged from the matrix, and they're going, what the fuck is this place? What do I do? Well, would you rather they stumble around and off themselves, or would it be better if somebody's right there to say, go this way, young man?
Yeah, I have something to say. And this is fantastic, because as you guys have been having this conversation, I've been writing down things. And this is the importance of surrounding yourself with other successful people, because what it does is it pushes you to also want to, put out your best. There's a song. It's by Cameron and Jay-Z off his album, Come Home With Me. Okay. And Cameron opens up the song saying, there's a war going on outside no man is safe from. It don't matter if you're 3 feet or 8'1". And gentlemen, we're in the middle of that war right fucking now. 40%. Around 40 to 50% of the U.S. currency in circulation right now was printed last year. Yep. Inflation is here, and hyperinflation is going to rear its ugly head soon. So we got a financial thing going on. Over 50% of marriages in the United States end in divorce, with 70 to 80% of those being initiated by women. So you got issues in courtship. Next, somewhere between 50 to 70% of men in the United States are obese. Okay, can't do a fucking push-up, don't exercise regularly, and quite frankly, are fat pieces of shit. Used to this McDonald's society that we have where people are sending Uber Eats to themselves, not going outside, not exercising, playing video games, watching fucking porn. You have a choice to make, guys. You can either A, assimilate to the losers and all the fucking mediocre guys and accept the fact that you're probably going to be a fat loser, enduring bad behavior from women, tolerating it, like as these dumb hoes come on the show. You should tolerate me, blah, 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 which is a clown concept in itself. Or you can make the conscious decision to change, get out the fucking victim mindset, stop being a pussy, surround yourself with other like-minded guys, get in the goddamn gym, start investing, start making money, and change your fucking life. Andrew said it earlier. You, as a man, if you're born a man, yes, you have to create your value. You don't get the benefit of being a woman and being born with value, but you can choose what you want to be. You want to be a rapper? You can do it. You want to become, as Andrew said, a fighter, 4-time kickboxing world champion? You can do it. The difference is you have to work for it, okay? Yes, you're going to get bullied. Yes, you're going to get insulted. Yes, people are going to talk shit about you. It is what it is. It comes with the territory. But men today, especially in the West, are fucking soft, okay? I got a lot of heat. We brought Skippy on. And he said, well, I'm suffering from depression. I'm sad. I don't know. I'm a 40-year-old virgin, blah, blah, blah. But but people didn't ask him the tough questions. How many hours per week are you working? Do you exercise, etc.? No, I don't exercise. I only go to work about 20 hours per week. Then you deserve to be depressed.
If you build yourself a depressing reality, then you're going to feel depressed.
Exactly. And that's the problem. Guys need to stop being fucking pussies. Look at what they have instead of what they don't have and make the best of it. There's motherfuckers right now that haven't eaten in days, don't have clean water, living in a poor-ass country, zero opportunity. And your ass is over here watching me on YouTube in 1080p thinking about, damn, life sucks, man. I don't know how I'm going to get around this. Fucking soft.
On Twitch and shit.
Soft. A lot of you guys watching me right now, I'm just going to say it. A lot of you niggas are bitch-ass niggas, bro. I'm going to fucking say it. Fucking soft.
Yeah.
Haven't accomplished shit, crying about things that you don't have instead of things you do have. If you live in the United States or a Western country, you have running water, food, and electricity, you have no fucking excuse to be poor with the way the internet is set up and all the information out there. You're getting free game right now from 4 guys at the table that are wildly successful.
Yep.
You have no fucking excuse, man.
That's correct.
And it all started from the bottom. And just add to this point as well, how can an immigrant come to your country with no skills? Go online, YouTube, maybe even Reddit. Who knows? They found information, right? Take it, harness it. So you know what? I'm going to sacrifice for a couple of years, learn it, and go through the mud. And then come out on top as an immigrant and do better than people that live their whole lives. The point here is that like he's saying it's choice. You got a choice to make. Either you stay at the bottom where you are right now, or improve yourself to a point where, you know what? Now I can add value to other people and they want to help me grow as well. The point is that you got a choice to make. Either stay where you're at or improve.
And when we're talking about the future, there's always been a large proportion of men in the world who made the choice to stay where they are, and life for them wasn't that bad. But as we reach the future and as time goes on, you're going to notice now that the people who don't chase having a masculine network, if they're not going to be excellent upon themselves and they're not going to be plugged into a serious circle of achievers, their life's going to become terrible. You used to be able to be a normal man. You could just be a normal dude, and your life really wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But now we live in a situation where you just can't just be a normal dude anymore. In fact, I'm going to say something else. I'm going to say something that's a bit more controversial. 5 or 6 years ago, you could consider yourself law-abiding. I abide by the laws, and I do all what the law says, right? And you'd have a good life. The way things have gone these last couple of years and the way they're going to continue to go, you can no longer even obey the law. You need to be able to either go to another country or have a friend who can get you the paperwork or know a guy who knows a guy. You can no longer even just be a law-abiding citizen without having an awful life.
Wear your mask.
Yeah, you can't even be a law-abiding citizen. So being a normal dude is no longer an option. Being law-abiding is no longer an option. People look at some of us guys up here and go, oh, yeah, well, they're a bit extreme, or, Tate's a bit crazy and he's a bad guy, da-da-da. All I've done is chosen a path that allows me to prevent being crushed, because a lot of you watching is going to be destroyed. In 5 years from now, you cannot even understand the world you're going to be living in as a normal dude. A normal law-abiding man 5 years from now is fucked.
Bam.
So you better get it together.
NWO. It's here.
Yeah, man. And this isn't some conspiracy theory or whatever. Y'all see it with your own two eyes. Every night we bring girls in the pod. What do they say? I don't want no average guy. Well, do you know what the average guy is? Oh, 5'8", 100, $50,000 a year. No girl wants that, bro.
I won't settle.
I won't settle.
Never.
Thanks to Instagram, online dating apps, and the globalized world that we live in nowadays, women only see the best. The rest of y'all motherfuckers are invisible. So whether you guys want to do this for yourself or you want to do it for girls, whatever it is, the end game is the same and the bottom line is the same. You must self-improve as a man. Being average is no longer good enough, thanks to globalized world.
Guys, guess what? Nobody cares. Your mom doesn't care for the most part. Your dad doesn't care. You should care about yourself. And if you don't, nobody's gonna care for you.
So get mad or play ball.
Yeah.
Bam.
That's it.
All right. I'll read some of these chats. If that doesn't light a fire up your fucking asses, I don't know what will. Mark Martin. What Tristan Tate was getting at is the emasculation of our
Andrew Tate.
Yeah, I think he means Andrew. Yeah. Okay, but he goes, what Tristan Tate was saying, but he means Andrew, was getting at is the emasculation of our society. My God, have you seen Marvel creating a line of Mary Sue superheroes? That's one way they're doing it, guys. If you guys watch like the Netflix series that are big or the remakes of these movies that were traditionally masculine.
Yeah, like Star Wars. Have you seen the remake of Star Wars?
Unfortunately,
boy, you're really missing out on it.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. They're terrible movies.
But guys, let me give you some advice, right? I always tell people who are close to me to resist the slave mind. You know, I get called crazy a lot in my life. You know, I actually genuinely get called crazy a lot. I'll walk in a place and some guy will have a mask on. You'll say mask, and I'll say resist the slave mind, and I'll keep walking. And he's like, "Who's this weirdo?" Well, they're like talking like a monk. But when I say resist the slave mind, you need to, as a full-grown adult, even after this podcast, you need to understand that everybody who has ever spoken to you, all the information you've ever ingested, to some degree has programmed you. And you need to look at all of your strongly held opinions in the world and identify why you have that opinion. Who told you those things? Was it personal experience or was it somebody else? And the people who program me, do they have my best interests at heart? What life are they living? Do I want to be like the person who told me I should be that way? Most of you are going to learn business from a business professor in the university who has no fucking money. And you're listening to them. You need to start analyzing every single opinion you have on the world and identifying where it came from. And then, is that a trustworthy source? Does that source actually care about my well-being? Is that source corrupted? Has that source got social proof? Is that source proving they live what they teach to some degree? You need to genuinely resist the slave mind. You need to self-analyze, because most of these fuckers up here, especially the average guy, he'll regurgitate crap. It's not even from personal experience. It's just crap he heard somewhere, doesn't know where he got it from, and that's what he believes. And you wonder why he's so manipulable. You're a cog in the machine, my friend, and you're gonna get wrecked in real time. You need to understand that. When I say resist the slave mind in future, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
I told you exactly this when the girls are here. I told you the thing that whenever I'm listening to girls talk about like how they came to the conclusion that we ought to be egalitarian or we want to be in an equal partnership or remember when we did the grape-ish episode, right? And women were rattling off these things that they'd heard somewhere else. Or you'll say, do you think men and women are equals? Do you think that there should be an equal partnership? Or that one girl who was here that said, oh, I'm going to be the CEO of my life kind of thing. And my curiosity is, where did that idea come from? Where did that meme that's in her head come from? And these are girls who are sometimes 18, 19, 20 years old.
TikTok.
And I know where they came from. They came from 1970s militant feminism, but they don't know where it came from. And so I think it's also not only self-analysis is something you need to follow, but it's also listening to what other people are telling you and saying, where did you get that idea? Because you're awfully young to be regurgitating, Gloria Steinem from 1974, Our Bodies, Ourselves, or whatever the hell it was. Where did you get that? Because that's how endemic those memes are to women right now, because we've just basically empowered them for the last, 60 some odd years since the sexual revolution. It's also important to realize where are other people getting ideas, like we were talking about abortion the other day, where women were saying, you don't have a seat at the table for legislation on abortion, because if you did, if you have a penis and not a uterus, and so therefore you can't be here. Why do we think that? Why is that? Like it's like questioning what we take for granted, but we need to ask those questions because it seems like self-evident, but it's not. Why? How come I don't have a seat at the table? Half of my DNA is in this kid, right? So where you have to ask also what's going on with other people and how do they come to the belief set and the memes that are tucked into their heads.
That's the clown world we have here in the West. Go ahead, Andrew.
Sorry, I know. I
No, bro. You're the guest, please.
But the people who make the rules usually make the benefit for the people who make the rules.
Bam.
Yeah.
They don't make the benefit for everybody else.
Yeah.
So when you're resisting the slave mind, you have to understand anything that's mass adopted and mass broadcasted to program you is very likely not in your interest. Why would it be in your interest? It's for the interest of the people who do the broadcasting. That's human nature, right? So it's amazing. Like Rollo said, these women are regurgitating crap. They don't know where they got it from. Fully slave-minded. They never anticipate. Where did I hear that? Why do I think that? They don't do any of those things because women lack the ability to be introspective. But you're a full-grown man. And if you're a full-grown man, you need to sit there and genuinely analyze all your strongly held beliefs. Next time, I'll tell you something. If I get in a disagreement with somebody and we're going to argue 2 points, I'll take 3 seconds before that argument and go, why do I believe this so strongly? Why am I about to argue this point? Like, why do I believe what I'm about to say? The thing I trust the most is my own personal experience. If I've been through something personal experience, I consider that a fantastic lesson that's hard to dispute. But sometimes I've caught myself about to argue a point and I'm like, well, I heard this, and this. Maybe, you know what? I don't have an opinion and I'll shut up. You need to strongly analyze your own thoughts because I've sat there with people who are regurgitating crap and I'm looking them in the eyes going, you don't even know why the fuck you're saying what you're saying.
Yep.
It's
And I want to say
insane.
this too, because you mentioned something. Look at the people that are broadcasting, and that's who you need to pay attention. Why are they saying to what they're saying? YouTube recently got rid of the dislike button, or at least showing the meter of the dislikes.
Yeah.
You guys want to know a big reason why they did that? CNN, CNBC, all these mainstream news channels that, you know, push out and talk about the pandemic, etc.
Politics.
They were getting a lot of dislikes.
And right.
Getting 11% like rate. I'm talking that dislike bar was fucking huge to going to the left, man. No likes on it. So I said, you know what? We're not going to show a dislike bar anymore. We're just only going to show the likes and nothing else. You have to actually go into the analytics to see what the dislike percentage was. And that is in an effort to protect the broadcasters that are broadcasting the bullshit to you that want to run a certain narrative.
Yeah, absolutely. And the narrative is never going to be in your benefit. And it's going to be fringe. You guys are pretty big now, but it's still fringe, right? You're not CNN.
Yeah,
it's going to be fringe atmospheres. And then you have to sit there because listen to what I just said. What we're saying, we are trying to program you. I'm trying to program you. The things I'm saying to you might have an effect on you. And you have to sit and say, okay, if I adopt Tate's thinking and my life ends up something like Tate's, is that what I want it to be? You have to understand that, right? If you adopt the thinking of the soy boy on TV, is that what you want your life to be? You need to be a lot more careful with who you're listening to. I actually try. One of the things I've done since I've become successful is I'm very, very careful with what I even allow in my brain. I get to walk away from shit because I don't need the money. I don't need the friends, right? I don't even like that program. I don't even like having to use my own mind to discourage the programming. I don't even like letting it in my ears. I won't be around soy boys. I won't be around weaklings. I won't even be around it. I don't even want to have to use my own mind to resist it anymore. Yeah. I make sure that every single person I talk to are saying things that benefit me in some regard or has information that I can use. So all goes back to what we said 10 times throughout this podcast. You are the sum of the people you hang around with, which means the intelligent people create that. And the stupid people are just like, well, I've known him since high school, so I'm just his friend and he's a soy boy, but he's my friend. Oops, divorce rates. Like,
yeah, you have to be militant about who you listen to, who you take advice from, who you hang out with, and who you allow around you and your energy. And a lot of you guys ask us, yo, Mario Fresh, why don't you guys respond to all the haters? Why do you guys stay selling this? Blah, blah, fucking blah. Guys, the reason why is because you have to be extremely, when you're trying to perform at a high level, every single percentage of brain power needs to be used for the effort of creating the content, of making things happen. If you divert energy into that stupidity, you're going to detract from the main mission at hand. So that's why we don't really acknowledge these guys, because we know what we're doing here. We're bringing together extraordinary men like the men on this panel, and we're having these tough conversations, these base conversations that the mainstream media is never going to fucking have, so that you guys can benefit. You guys don't have to listen to us. Take what we say, whatever works for you, apply it, etc. We're not going to try to brainwash you here, guys. What I want you guys to do is think outside the fucking box, because we've said some things here that no one would ever tell you. You know what I'm saying? People get canceled for talking the way that we do, but we just want to allow you guys the opportunity to hear this stuff, and you can make your own judgment on it.
Bam.
Okay.
All right. Any chats or?
Yeah, sure. Once again.
All right, and then we'll do closing thoughts here.
Yeah, closing thoughts, and then and like the goddamn video. I think we got around 7,000 likes, but we've been giving y'all a lot of heat. We've maintained well over or around 8,000 live viewers the whole time.
Chris,
man.
what's the subs
So
at
thank
now?
you guys.
Yo, sub to the channel, man.
Yeah, sub to the channel, guys.
Guys, we are
have
3K away from hitting 500K.
3K.
Gonna have a big ass party here in Miami. It's gonna be lit, man. I wish you guys would stay longer,
$500,000.
but you know, there you go.
I hate pulling out my phone, but I'll look at it right now. Yeah,
We got 7.6.
6K likes with 758
Wait,
watching on YouTube alone.
No.
And another like 600 on YouTube on Twitch. So shout out to all our Twitch people.
Yep.
People laugh and say Myers and Lawyer
Myers.
mode. No, I used to wear this when I was an agent, guys.
Mara, we have 7.K likes on YouTube.
Yep.
Nice.
And
7.6.
7.8 are actually watching right now.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
awesome,
so
guys. Thank you so much for liking the video.
100% engagement, pretty much.
Get us almost 100. But okay, what do we got here? We got Jay Martin, $50. Question everything.
Facts.
Profound. And then Night Zero, $50. Crypto Bros, come join the war room to learn from men who make millions in crypto and live life like full G's. Just having money is one of the many aspects you need to be the man. Don't be a rich dork. A dork in a Lambo is still a dork. Absolutely, guys. And I'm telling y'all, guys, I want to really reiterate this to you. If you're holding on to fiat currency nowadays, you are stupid because then inflation is here. I just told y'all around 40% of the U.S. currency in circulation right now was printed last year during the pandemic for stimulus checks and everything else like that. We got Biden in office. A bunch of craziness is going to happen soon. You know what I'm saying? So you need to protect that money, and whether you put it into crypto, you put it into stocks, you put it into real estate, whatever it is, the guys in like, Andrew's war room, for example, are all diversified in multiple different avenues where you can invest that money. Because if you're holding on to cash in today's day and age, outside of like maybe a savings thing an emergency savings fund, you're fucking dumb. Your dollar is depreciating every second, guys. And hyperinflation is, if not already, it's already here. You know what I'm saying?
They're ice cubes. They're melting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Senator Gaines. Do you surrender the rest of your time?
All right, so guys, give us where they can find you, and then last thoughts. We'll start at Sterling.
Well, you can find me. The best place to find me is on YouTube. You just type in Stirling Cooper. Spell it right though. Stirling.
Yeah, it's not an E.
Yeah. Americans tend to spell it wrong. And you can find everything I teach here is about improving your performance in the bedroom, preventing the bad stuff, and improving on the good stuff. And this has been a lot of fun. It's been like we all talk,
daily,
basically,
behind
the scenes, offline.
Girls.
And so it's nice for you guys to see us all together and interacting in like real time, like we do normally.
And Ostrike with $100 super chat, and he goes for no reason. All right, thank you, bro. I appreciate that greatly, man.
Yeah, you can find me at JWaller on YouTube and JWaller7 on Instagram. And my final thought is kind of in line with what Andrew said is, watch who you keep your company, because those 5 people or those people that you're around is your control over your atmosphere. And when you have control of your atmosphere, you can guard the gates of your mind. And you must guard the gates of your mind. It's the most important thing, or you will be a slave. So
wow, powerful.
Bam.
All right.
Absolutely. At Cobra Tate on Instagram and at Tate Speech and Tate Confidential on YouTube. And it's been refreshing, just like Sterling said. This is my first podcast with Rollo, but I've obviously worked with Rollo before on
this is actually your 4th podcast.
No, sorry. My first podcast in person. First in person.
And Fresh if it made it happen, baby.
Hey. Yeah, we've done a few streams and stuff before, and
Shout
these
out.
are all conversations we have in private. So if you're sitting here and you're blown away by what we're saying, that means you're not having conversations like this in private, and that's a red flag. Because the things we're saying, this should be like, yeah, that's what me and my boys say. And if you're sitting there going, wait, me and my boys don't say that, well, then you have a problem to identify
Huge fucking
and
problem.
rectify. Yeah.
Bing bong.
So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. That's where you find me, Cobra Tate on Instagram, Tate Speech, and Tate Confidential on YouTube. And yeah, it's been great.
Okay.
Yep. You can find me at therationalmail.com. That's my blog. I am also Rollo Tomasi at Rational Mail on Twitter. You can also find all 4 of my books on Audible and on Amazon. So go have your pick. Start with the first one though, because people ask me.
Fantastic reads, guys.
Start with the first one. These guys always quote every damn episode practically the book, so you can find it on Amazon. And then just as far as closing thoughts is concerned, there is a whole world out there that doesn't want this to happen. And I think that that's really important. I'll leave you with this one last message here is coming together to gather. That's where the word is from, to gather. For us to come together here is a threat to the status quo right now. It's a threat to the power that's happening. When I look and I see what's happening in, like, say, Australia, or I see what's going on in Austria or in Germany right now, it's because men don't gather. It's because men are not coalescing together and getting mad. We haven't got pissed off enough. It hasn't got bad enough for that to happen. And at some point, it's going to happen. And when we emasculate an entire generation, I mean a worldwide, globally, we emasculated generation, really 2 generations now, it weakens the ability to fight back. It weakens the ability to effect change. And that's really what men are about, right? It's enforcing our will upon the world. And for us to find some way to get out of the mess and the shit stew that we're in right now, we have to come together. We have to have these conversations, and we have to do it reasonably, rationally, and then we have to figure out what we're going to do. And the only way to do that is to come together and gather. That's the first thing guys hit me up with. They say, I don't have a network of guys. How do I find red pill guys to get together with? Maybe that's the war room. Maybe that's watching this. Maybe that's coming to my channel. However you choose to do that, get together, talk, and have these conversations, because if the silence is the voice of complicity.
Fantastic.
Bang, agreed. Fantastic.
This was legendary, man.
Yeah, this was great.
And last two
chats right here. We got Jonathan Castillo, legendary episode. Definitely sharing with the boys. Y'all 100% reaffirm my decision to leave my job and start my own business. Thanks for all the knowledge. Absolutely, man. Okay. M-Check, always bet on yourself. $90 all the way from Great Britain, man. We got the whole world watching.
UK,
Canada, Great Britain, everybody. Shout out to y'all. And then M-Check, great show, guys. Loving the Tate brothers from the ends. Thanks to all you men for Chris.
Sorry.
Thanks to all you men for the high quality interaction. Absolutely, guys. We're gonna keep cranking out the content. Like I said, man, you do a lot better when you work with guys versus like talking shit about them. While they hate, we create, man. And we're bringing up, like I said, panels like this with extraordinary gentlemen.
Tomorrow we got Earn Your Leisure as well.
Yep. Yeah. And guys, the war room is where you can meet guys like this. These are conversations that, Andrew, you said it perfectly. If you're not having conversations like this with your group of friends about making money, getting your shit together, then you need to drop your fucking friends.
Yeah, like we just talked about how this conversation should be something else you're having. If you're going to listen to this podcast and you want some actionable steps, think about the last 5 times you met your friends. Did you talk about things like this? No. Okay. Let me ask you this, and this is a genuine question. When's the last time you sat down with your friends and actually talked money? Actually, all of you sat down. How are you making money? How are you making money? How are you making money? We need money. How are we going to make money? Oh, you haven't done that either. Okay. So what the fuck are you talking about? Like, and how has it benefited your life in real time? Most slaves deserve slavery. And this is the unfortunate reality of it, right? We can't save all of you, but those of you with a brain who understand what we're saying, I'm sure we'll interact in the future. So that's how it works.
Man, real talk. Dude, every day we talk about money.
Every day, you guys, I'm sure you're very much like me. Yeah, I'm sitting down with my boys. I'm like, okay, how much did we make yesterday? How much did we make tomorrow? What can we do? How can we improve? I'll be sitting there having a coffee in a coffee shop, looking around the coffee shop saying, this place could make more money. Why they don't sell cake? Why is that bitch not hot? There's all this why they got an ugly waitress? Like, yeah, that's all I think about. True. You have to analyze. You got to be perspicacious.
Andrew, you made a video, I think 2 years ago. You were sitting at a random spot talking about that same thing. And I was like, yo, we do that every single day. We sit, we strategize, we plan. We plan to make men better and become better ourselves. And say, yo, if you don't have that, what do you really have? TV telling you to like go play video games. The point is that like if you don't put in good information, you're not gonna get good output. So that's very
simply
important.
Put, it's this, guys. If you're not progressing, you're regressing.
Because the world's
I know
moving
some
forward.
guys might say, "Oh, well, no, I'm just staying stagnant." There's no such thing as stagnant. Because time is always moving. So therefore, by default, you can't be stagnant. You're going fucking backwards. So you need to always be making sure that you're going forwards. That's the truth, man.
Justin, what did we just talk about down at the restaurant? Starting a bourbon line.
Oh, yeah.
How are we going to make some money?
There you go. Adding value, man.
Chuck Mark, I skipped getting some lady parts tonight for this legendary show. Thanks for all the valuable information by the whole panel.
Sacrifice, man.
Absolutely, my friend. And now you have information to get way more girls. Bam. Jeffrey Epstein. Wow, Myron, I made some assumptions about the dislike button. Glad to know I'm not thinking too deep about it. Yeah, that's why, guys. Then Elijah Tickborn all the way from Australia. Can we do this again with all the lads? Also, Sterling, have you been to Kalgoorlie?
Kalgoorlie.
Kalgoorlie is a morning. It's a mining town 6 hours from Perth.
No, I have not.
Okay, fair enough, guys. We're gonna end the show there. Thank you guys so much. Like the video, comment below for the algo, and then give all these guys a follow on YouTube, Instagram, and join the War Room. Link is there, guys. If you want a successful network of men, a bunch of verified multimillionaires in there, get in the War Room, and then we're gonna have our interview with Andrew on Monday. Get ready, because we're pulling out the vodka. We're gonna have a good time on that one.
And we got some baddies coming on Monday. We will have a special celebrity girl as well. I won't say who it is, but it might be Ruby.
I don't know.
Oh shit!
Go.
I don't know.
And then tomorrow we got Earn Your Leisure guys. Going to
Yes.
help you guys with the financial side.
Investing, everything.
While they hate, we create, babe. We're gonna keep giving you guys value. Best
Hey.
number one men's podcast in the fucking world. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. What time are we doing that interview?
1 or 2 p.m.
Yeah, and follow all the guys here, man. They're our fucking homies, man.
Yep.
Check them out on Instagram and YouTube. Peace.
Peace.